When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
Tap water often contains harmful chemicals and additives. When you call for your free water test from Hiller, we'll show you exactly what's in your water and how to remove it. Enjoy cleaner, healthier water in your home. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your free in-home appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Rick Flair.
SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. 3 minutes past the top of the hour, and I'm already thinking about the Hillbilly Chili at Dead End Barbecue. If only we lived close enough to go to Dead End Barbecue. If only we lived in Knoxville to be able to do that. Oh, wait, we do. We do live in Knoxville. We can go to Dead End Barbecue anytime we want to. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, and on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline because it is Friday. Seth Stokes. Stokes, good morning.
You're hurting me, brother.
What's wrong, man?
You're hurting me. I don't live in Knoxville. I can't just go to Dead End Barbecue whenever I want. I can't get any of that delicious hillbilly chili. And I remember when they introduced the hillbilly chili a couple years ago before I moved. Oh my goodness, that stuff is delicious.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Perfect weather for it. It is here right now. Last time I checked, it was 41 degrees, but I've been up for a while, so I don't know. Temperature may have changed. Let me see. Oh, it's still 41 degrees. Perfect football weather. Perfect football weather. You know what I hope happens this weekend, Tuscaloosa? Thought about it. It needs to be foggy, and it needs to be raining. Bring me the fog. Bring me the rain.
Just sloppy, messy football.
Yeah, man. Let's turn Tua into Tommy Frazier or somebody. You got to run the football. That would be the best case scenario. Stokes, let me know how silly this sounds. We want the football team, obviously, to be healthy coming out of this game. Mm-hmm. The thing that Alabama will do to you, or any physical football team, is they'll beat you more than once. They'll beat you on Saturday in the game that you're playing, and then because you're beat up and you're sore, the next week you're not prepared to go out there the next week, and then you're not your best, and then you lose that game because you played a physical football game.
Right.
You want to avoid injuries, and it's football, man. You're not going to be able to avoid all of them. That's one thing. It's another thing to say, you know what? Let's not play this quarterback, or let's not play this player because it's Alabama. If that's not the weakest move.
It's so soft with a capital T.
Soft and terrible.
I mean, just don't even play the game.
Just
don't even play the game. Just forfeit. Don't even travel. If that's the mentality you're going to have, don't even travel. Don't even play the game. Have another bye week. Just go ahead and mark that down as an L and start preparing for South Carolina.
Honestly, Alabama is more finesse now than they ever have been.
Yeah.
So, and for those that don't understand, you can get hurt against Georgia State the same way you can get hurt against Alabama.
Yep.
You still got a bunch of dudes in a pile falling over each other. As Kansas City Chiefs fans last night, Patrick Mahomes on just a standard quarterback sneak dislocates his knee.
It looked so bad.
Yeah, you can get hurt in any game. Justin Harrell, my last year, senior year, we played a pretty dang good SEC schedule, but you know the game he got hurt in that ended his senior season? It was the game against Air Force. So it doesn't matter the opponent if you're trying to avoid injury. If you're not able to play, you're not able to play. If you're not cleared, you're not cleared. And Brown Maurer, if he's cleared, he should be the starter. He should play. Absolutely, man. You got to learn today. This is gonna help you in your development. You gotta go up against the best if you want to be the best.
You take your best 22-plus players, put them out on the field against their best 22-plus players, and you go to war.
That's right.
I mean, it's every game. Now, there's arguments to be made against the Georgia State or against the UTC. Get your starters some reps early, get a big lead, get them out of there so they don't get hurt in a game you could win with your backups. But in a meaningful football game against an Alabama, against a Georgia, against any of these other teams, you throwing everybody out there.
Exactly.
Whatever it takes. And if they get hurt, that is football, and it's unfortunate, and it sucks, and you figure it out for the next week. Even if they get hurt in a losing effort, it's still football. But what happens if you put your starters out there and you go out there and they play like their hair is on fire and Alabama sleepwalks through this thing and it's a close game like it was in 2015? It's going to take next to a miracle for Tennessee to win this game. Let's be honest. I mean, Alabama's defense isn't quite as dominant as it has been, but they're going to out-athlete Tennessee at every position, even at wide receiver, where Tennessee's usually the best group on the field right now. Alabama's better. And it's just facts of the matter. But you can still play them close. And you might slip up and win. Who knows? But that's a confidence builder. If you take a team that got beat by Georgia State, beat by BYU, and you go to Tuscaloosa, in the middle of building some confidence with a strong performance in the first half against Georgia, win over Mississippi State, and then you go and you hang with Alabama for a long time, that gives you all kinds of confidence in a loss. And it would suck to lose a game, but if you go out there and you just concede defeat before you even get off the bus by saying, all right, Maurer, you're clear, but we're not going to risk it. We're going to sit you. JG, you get to start, and you're going to play the whole game. Trey, we don't want the blood clots to come back. We're going to go and rest you this week. And you start, piecemealing people together to sit. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's weak. That's weak.
It's weak. It's so weak.
Yeah, that's weak. It does not give off the best message.
That's some soft, Charmin soft right there.
So y'all ready for basketball season?
I ain't ready for basketball season. I'm excited for the back half of football season.
What about basketball season, though?
I'm excited for basketball season. It's going to be a fun season.
I'm ready for both. I'm ready for the month of November, basketball in the month of November, and then like Stokes said, I'm ready for the back half of this football season because I think Tennessee has the chance to do something special. And when I say special, I'm not referring to winning a championship.
So what do you mean then?
Based off the way the season starting 1-4, losing to Georgia State, losing to BYU the way that you did, being embarrassed by Florida, I think it'd be pretty special if Tennessee can find a way to make a bowl game. Going from 1-4 to 6-6, I think that's pretty darn special.
I'm not going to sit here and say, as a Tennessee fan, that going to a bowl is accomplishing something special. But I will say going to a bowl, which is more realistic. I got a lot of heat after the Georgia game for saying that if Maurer continues to improve and this team continues to improve, that a bowl game is more realistic than it was before that game. going to a bowl, getting to a bowl is a huge step in the right direction. That is major progress compared to, like Ben said, how the season started, how the season last year ended. And that, if you're not excited for the rest of this season and what could happen, I don't know what to tell you. Things are getting better in front of our faces.
Yeah, there's some folks that, they've already pulled the plug on themselves as far as Tennessee Vol life support. There's no bringing them back right now unless Tennessee wins 7 to 8, 9 games. And that's okay, whatever. Everybody has a different level of fandom. I asked y'all about basketball seasons because I have a basketball example. We were talking about Brian Maurer and some of your key players that you're going to need if you're going to go to a bowl game. And Brian Maurer is a freshman, and you have a lot of other freshmen out there who are contributing, who are a big part of this team being successful. I think about the 2016 basketball team, guys. This team had Jordan Bone, true freshman, Lamonte Turner, redshirt freshman, Grant Williams, freshman, Robert Hubbs III, he was a senior, Admiral Schofield was a sophomore, Kyle Alexander was a sophomore, Jalen Johnson was a freshman, Jordan Bowden was a freshman, and this team went 16-16 and was 9th in the SEC and 2 games below 500 in the SEC. And, man, they took some L's, guys. They got beat by 10 to Gonzaga. You beat Kentucky. I mean, that's kind of what we do. That's kind of what Rick Barnes does. He beats Kentucky. I mean, that's nothing special. That's kind of easy, right? You had a chance to go out there and beat North Carolina on the road, but you came up short. So you had these moments of, okay, well, this team is pretty good. This team is ready, and then they came up a little bit short, and those experiences helped them. They developed. They grew. Now, they did go to Rupp and get absolutely smacked down 58-83 later on that season by Kentucky. But this was a young football team that took their lumps. They had some good moments, but they took their lumps. And when these guys became juniors and seniors, more seniors with Admiral Schofield, Kyle Alexander, Jordan Bone, Grant Williams was junior, but he declared. But when they became older players, those tough games, the Kentucky game in the SEC tournament, they were down, never flinched, came back, won that basketball game. They were in some tough moments. Number 1 team in the country. Bullseye on their back. They go to Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt has their best game of the season. Couldn't miss from the outside. Couldn't do anything wrong. They stunk before we played them, and they stunk after we played them. But when they played us, they played the best game, went to overtime, and Tennessee was able to get it done. Grant Williams scores 40 points, 26 free throws, was just magnificent. Tennessee football, these young dudes, you're going to gain something going down and playing Alabama in a hostile environment. It may not seem like it, but you're going to gain something. And you can build upon that for next year and the next year after that. So, no, you playing, man. You playing. You going in there, you playing. You're going to take these lumps, and it's going to make you better in the long run.
The more ball Maurer plays, the better he's going to get.
Yep.
The more he's going to understand the game at the college level, the more he's going to get used to seeing what's going to be thrown at him. It's going to slow down for him. And the less, in theory, he'll throw the ball into double coverage. And he'll learn to slide a little bit or get out of bounds every once in a while. Like, these things come with live action reps that he doesn't get in practice. And Tennessee fans complain, oh, we got to get these freshmen some time, got to give them some time, got to give them some meaningful reps in games. And now it's time to give him some meaningful reps in games. Oh, don't play him. He might get hurt.
The weakest comment I've ever seen, man.
Well, what makes it so ridiculous is that those same people who are saying, oh, don't throw Brian Maurer to the Wolves against Alabama are the same people who wanted to play him against Georgia And this Georgia defense, or that Georgia defense, is 10 times better than this Alabama defense. Maybe not 10 times, but they are much better.
I don't know about 10 times.
Not 10. 10 times is an exaggeration, but they are most definitely better than Alabama's defense. Theoretically, you'd be throwing Maurer to the wolves more so against Georgia than Alabama.
Yeah, and for the first possession, I was a little cautious of quote-unquote throwing him to the wolves against Georgia, but he's shown that he can handle it. So
exactly.
You might as well go ahead and throw him out there and play the whole entire game against Alabama if he's healthy.
If he's healthy,
yeah.
This may be an easy decision by Jeremy Pruitt because there may not be a decision to make because the doctors may tell him Friday night, tonight or tomorrow morning, he ain't cleared. He can't play.
Yeah, there's only
if that's the case, so be it.
There's only two ways that you don't start Brian Maurer. If he's not healthy, like Stokes is saying, and B, if the coaches decided they liked what they saw more from JG against Mississippi State than Brian Maurer, because JG absolutely outperformed Maurer in the Mississippi State game, according to Pro Football Focus.
And our eyes.
JG had a rating or a grade of 90.3. Maurer's grade was 59.9. So there's only two ways that I start JG over Maurer, and it's if Maurer's not good to go with a concussion thing, and then if the coaches just simply think that JG is the better option. But I don't think that is the case.
As we go to break, I'll say this. As a teammate, I think I would want to know if my quarterback, who's playing quarterback before Friday, Stokes. I know you mentioned,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want any surprises, man, on a Friday on the flight to Tuscaloosa or just finding out in a hotel. I kind of want to know Wednesday, Thursday. I kind of want to know that if I'm a wide receiver or anybody else on this offense.
My guess is they know.
Yeah, they know. Hour one here on the Swain event is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Seth Stokes is on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here in the Low T Center Studios. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Hey y'all, check it out. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a brand new happy hour special right now that you don't want to miss. Get $2 off of their fantastic barbecue queso appetizer from 2 to 4 p.m. That's queso loaded with your choice of pork, chicken, or brisket and served with Frito scoops. And for the rest of the month, check out their new Pig and Peaches salad for $11. This thing is loaded with salad mix, grape tomatoes, fire-roasted peaches, pickled red onions, pork belly burn-ins, goat cheese, and topped with a delicious balsamic vinaigrette. Dead End Barbecue. The barbecue search is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do you do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Gentlemen, are you feeling tired and grumpy? It could be low T, or it could be sleep apnea. Millions of men not only suffer from low T, but also undiagnosed sleep apnea. Low T Center provides a complete health assessment to check all of your levels. And right now, they're offering a $49 home sleep test to find out if you have sleep apnea in the comfort of your own bed. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to take care of your health, and most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
there, Swain event listeners. It's football time in Tennessee. While you're cheering on the Vols, you might be thinking, I would love to buy a home with a great place to entertain for games. Or maybe you're thinking, I'm tired of hosting all of these people at my house and we don't need all this space anymore. Whatever your plans may be, when you are ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call me, Jennifer Morris, at Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man!
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Tennessee, Alabama, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So basically, it's going to be Sunday when the game ends. The last time a game went from Saturday to Sunday, and maybe I'm wrong here, correct me if I'm wrong, was 2003 when Tennessee, I think we started that game. I forgot what time we started that game, but it was a 5 overtime game, and it felt like it was Sunday when we finished for sure.
You are wrong.
It was a long time. When was the last time?
The 2016 battle at Bristol, Tennessee versus Virginia Tech, and I remember this because
Alabama against Alabama.
Okay, I thought you were talking about just in general.
Alabama game. When was the last time played an Alabama game that late? Because I don't think we even played like a primetime game against Alabama in forever, because of the two teams have not been kind of on equal playing field. But yeah, the Bristol game was long, and people didn't get a chance to leave Bristol until 2-3 hours after the game because of traffic. But 9 p.m. game, and Alabama want to show off their lights. Let them show off their lights. I hope it's foggy, and I hope it rains, whatever.
What's funny is people on Twitter complaining about the lights and everything, but they love what Tennessee does at the basketball game for the lights.
Well, that's because it's Tennessee. I love it.
I know. It's just funny how they're going to hate and say other teams shouldn't do that, yet we do the same thing for basketball.
Yeah, I'm kind of
a bunch of blinking, flashing lights.
I'm kind of upset that Tennessee football didn't, because usually like you would think, okay, the basketball program is doing it and they're kind of on the front end of it. The football program should have just did it right then, but instead, football programs have taken that, and it looks a lot better when it's 90,000 people doing it or 100,000 people doing it than 28,000 people in Thompson Bowling Arena. So it stinks that we didn't get a chance to do that first.
Well, we don't really get night games right now.
Yeah, so we can turn the lights on during the day.
That, and for some reason, people who run who decide the in-game environment for football are so slow to get with cool trends.
Yeah.
So slow. I hate it too, because New England's got a great game day environment. I'm not saying that they don't have a great game day environment, but there's some things other schools have done for a while that like Tennessee just started doing a couple of years ago and think it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's like, y'all, most everybody was already doing this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's easy to do that stuff when you're winning a little bit more. So hopefully
it is.
Yeah, when you win a little bit more, hopefully we can do some of those things, create some new traditions, and hopefully we can do that. But last night was Thursday night football, and got me thinking because you usually have those player intros, and was it this Monday the Steelers played the Chargers this past Monday or last Monday?
Sunday.
Was it Sunday? Okay, so Sunday night, Steelers, Chargers played. And the Steelers, they have themselves a former Tennessee player who is on the intros, and that's Ramon Foster. And Ramon Foster for years gave a shout-out to Ripley Tennessee in his high school because that's where he's from. And if you are a Tennessee fan, most of the time, or most Tennessee fans, when they hear that, they think something is wrong. Oh, is he afraid of? Is he ashamed of Tennessee? Is there some type of problem with Tennessee? And I remember former Steelers running back Willie Parker, when he was balling in his short time there with the Steelers, but he played in North Carolina, and he had a legit beef with North Carolina. He had a bad college experience, and he was not going to let people know that he went to North Carolina. So he always mentioned his high school. Ramon Foster is a total opposite. Ramon Foster loves Tennessee. Ramon Foster, when Butch Jones was here, was one of Butch's number one fans as far as a former player. And being so far away, he was supporting 100%, didn't understand what was kind of going on, and, probably was a little surprised about things that was going on and the way he was showing all of his support. But he still never wavered from his love of Tennessee and the Power T. And so we get the new coach in here, and I know you guys remember this. Some of the things that were put out on Twitter from the new folks, it kind of made it seemed like they kind of forgot about the Ramon Fosters and the Robert Ayers. And we were kind of highlighting more dudes who played at other schools but played for Pruitt at Florida State and Alabama than some of our own guys who were still in the league. And I know Ramon didn't like it, and Robert Ayers didn't like it, and they wanted people to understand that this is Tennessee. So Ramon very prideful about Tennessee, loves Tennessee, always reps Tennessee. And so on Sunday he talks about Ripley. Well, the reason why he has done that is because he's from a small town. He's from a small high school. And so he wants those young men and those young women and those people from that town to feel proud that someone from that small town made it and is on that platform. So it's nothing against Tennessee. He loves Tennessee, but he just wants to show out for Ripley. And so I didn't get a chance to address that on Monday, but the week's not over, so that's why I'm addressing it now. Because sometimes people just don't understand why shut out your high school. Your high school may not ever get a chance to get recognition and get noticed. And when you have someone who plays in the NFL, they get a chance to do that. So thought I would mention that. Guys, any thoughts on that? If you don't, we can move on.
I just don't understand why people get so sensitive about that. I've never understood why people get sensitive about that.
Well, I would understand the initial thought, like, whoa, he didn't mention the college. Is something going on there? Did something happen? Because that stuff does happen, man. There's some college coaches out there. They don't help dudes get to the league. They actually hurt them.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, as a fan, like, you got to understand, the college isn't the only school that this person has attended. They're not from Knoxville. Like, they come from all over to Knoxville to play ball. So sometimes they might want to show some love from where they came from and before they got to the University of Tennessee. Like, I've watched the player intros, and it's cool to hear from the University of Tennessee. Like, that's awesome. But I've never sat there and been like, ooh, he didn't say Tennessee, what's wrong? I'm like, cool, he shot out of high school. And if something comes of it to where something is wrong, okay, it makes more sense after that.
Yeah.
And what's going on. But I just don't get that initial jump to, such and such high school. And people, oh my goodness, that's such a Tennessee thing to happen. We can't even get our own former players to shout us out. Like, people need to chill.
Kind of going off what Stokes said, I think it's another reminder that we like to sit and think that every single player that plays at Tennessee just loves the University of Tennessee Tennessee football as much as we, the fans, do. Where in reality, most of these guys, while they leave loving Tennessee, most of them are coming to Tennessee for 3 to 4 years and just trying to use it as a stepping stone to get to the NFL. And I think that we tend to forget that, quite frankly, where they came from is more important to them in most cases than Tennessee. I think that's what it reminds me of, and I think it reminds the fans that not all players love Tennessee as much as we do, because Stokes, how long have you been a Tennessee fan?
Oh, I was born that way.
Exactly. I was born in Fort Sanders Hospital. I was born here in Knoxville. I was born a Tennessee fan. My whole family's from Tennessee. Whereas you have guys coming from Georgia, from Alabama, that have grown up liking Georgia, that have grown up liking Alabama, liking Auburn. Your Cooper Mays, your Jalen Hurds, they're few and far between. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's a nice reminder that for most players, it's a business decision to come to Tennessee, and where their pride and joy stems from is from where they grew up in most cases. So
yeah, that's a really good point. Let's take Bearden High School or West High School or Maryville High School, or Alcoa High School. When you are in kindergarten, you basically grow up with the same folks all throughout high school.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in middle school, you probably go to high school games and you think about, oh, I'm going to this high school when I get ninth grade or whatever. And so you have stronger, deeper relationships with the community of where you're from than the 4 years maybe in college.
Yep.
And so you wanna shout those guys out with your community, and I understand that. So it's not personal. It's just, hey, you get 5 or 6 seconds to kind of say what you're gonna say, and you want to shout out your community. The schools, they already get enough pub. They're multi-million-dollar corporations, basically. They already have enough pub. They already have enough marketing. They don't need any more. But to hear Randall Cobb show some love about Alcoa, how many players in the NFL from Alcoa? I don't know.
Probably that one.
I don't know. I mean, Reggie Ragland's from Huntsville, Alabama. If he says, his high school, Bob Jones High School, Huntsville, Alabama, Bama fans don't need to get upset. How many players in the league from Alabama? Tons of them. Alabama don't need any more marketing, but the opportunity to put Huntsville, Alabama on the map, that's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. So I just want folks to kind of think about that next time you hear a player mention a high school. Instead of automatically assuming it's the worst, maybe they just want to show some love to the people that helped raise them.
Yep. And their parents may still live there. And in a way, it's a shout out to the parents.
Yeah. Something to think about. That's all. Had nothing to do with Alabama, but again, just it made me think about it because of Thursday night football last night. Stokes, you got any more of that? You got any chunky Campbell soup left over for Ben?
No, I'm all out, buddy. We took an L to the Cardinals on Sunday, so.
Dude, I felt so bad for you, Ben, yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, man.
I feel bad for myself this morning.
It's like it's really not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel because
last night sucked.
The next game, it's not like you're going up against me as a pitcher. You're going up against one of the best ever.
Well, and then if they miraculously beat Justin Verlander, then they face the hottest pitcher on the planet on Saturday in Garrett Cole.
Yeah, man. Hey, Final Four is okay.
No, it's not okay.
That's right, it's Yankees. Final Four is not okay. It's like the Patriots losing in the AFC Championship game. It's not acceptable. You're right.
The worst part about last night wasn't even the fact that they lost. It was seeing CC Sabathia get hurt on probably his final pitch of his Hall of Fame career and walking off the field, and as he's getting to the dugout, kind of taking his hat back and starting to cry and then just being in obvious pain. What a terrible way to end your career. So that was the most depressing thing for me because I've grown up idolizing his pitching style when I was playing baseball, so that sucked.
Yeah, Yeah. Seth Stokes on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Swain event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Stay with us.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We all know that Vol Nation is all over the country. Traveling to games is a fun time for the entire family, but deciding where to stay can be a bit stressful. That's where the Big Orange Faithful at the Hampton Inn downtown come in. General Manager Stephen Lawrence and his team go over and beyond to make sure that you have the best stay in their brand new rooms. They have the cleanest rooms in the game, which include flat screen, microwave, and fridge. Not to mention breakfast is included in the room rate. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the best part. The Hampton Inn downtown is less than a mile from Neyland Stadium. While you're planning your game day trips, be sure to check out Hampton Inn online at hamptoninn.com and search Knoxville. Book Hampton Inn downtown today.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Bowl game, bowl game, bowl game. That is the focus for Tennessee football right now, and it is a realistic possibility after Tennessee got the win last week against Mississippi State. And I know we're playing Alabama tomorrow, but still, bowl game. How confident are you? Because I'm asking you today about how confident we are in a bowl game, because you know what's going to happen tomorrow. Ben and Seth, tomorrow's going to happen, and emotion will take over. There's no way we're getting to a bowl game. Look at this. And then on Sunday, well, maybe we can get to a bowl game. But I'm asking you today, because tomorrow's going to happen. How confident are you, Ben Stokes, that Tennessee can get to a bowl game this year?
Well, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 6.5. Like, they still have to go out and continue to improve and continue to show that they are capable of doing it. Like, the steps have to continue to be taken. Mississippi State, not to take anything from the win, but Mississippi State played terrible. Tennessee played well. Defensive line, that front seven of Tennessee did a great job. But Mississippi State also probably had their worst game of the year, and that's okay. A win's a win, I'll take it. And Tennessee showed signs of progress, and that's a good thing. They showed signs of progress in the first half against Georgia. But they just got to keep doing that. They keep moving forward. I don't expect a ton on Saturday at all. I'm not even going to get mad. Like, as long as Tennessee goes out and plays hard and doesn't play stupid, I know what the talent gap is. Like, that's if you get mad on Saturday, you're setting yourself up for disappointment on Friday. Like, that's what's going on there. But for the rest of the season, you've got to, after Saturday, every game is winnable on the schedule. Some more than others, but every game is winnable. And they've got to continue to prove that they can battle back against adversity and overcome it, and that they've truly learned to win. But I can't go full send after Mississippi State. I need to continue to see that progress. So I'm at a 6.5.
I'm around a 5 because I don't see Tennessee beating South Carolina or Missouri. I'm not saying Tennessee doesn't have a chance. I think both teams are very beatable. South Carolina more so than Missouri. But I do think Tennessee beats Kentucky. I think Tennessee beats UAB and Vanderbilt. That puts you at 5 wins. So all you need to do is find a way to beat South Carolina at home, beat Missouri on the road, which is a tall task based off how Tennessee has performed in Columbia since Missouri entered the league. But at least you have yourself a chance to make a bowl game, because at the beginning of the season, after the 1-4 start, 1-3 start, it did not feel like Tennessee was going to have a chance to make a bowl game. So I'm kind of at that 5 range. I want to go higher, but as of today, I just don't see Tennessee beating South Carolina, beating Missouri. And that South Carolina front is so disruptive, and Ryan Helinski is a very good passing quarterback. The same Tennessee secondary that showed up against Mississippi State this past weekend will need to show up again on Saturday against South Carolina in order to help the defensive line get back in the backfield, because I truly believe that a lot of those sacks were coverage sacks. It was the secondary making the defensive line look better than how they were actually playing. Not trying to take anything away from the front seven. It was by far their best game of the year. They were improved, but part of it was because of the secondary. So I put it at around a 5 just because I don't feel great about the South Carolina or Missouri game.
Yeah, everything hinges on South Carolina game for me. Yesterday we talked about the possibility of it being 2 or 3 openings in the SEC. I know there's going to be one with Derek Mason. Don't see him coming back at Vanderbilt, but I mentioned that I could see Moorhead moving on, because that team looked dead out there on Saturday against Tennessee. Stokes, you just mentioned it. Mississippi State didn't play well. Not only did they not play well, they didn't look like they wanted to even be there, which makes me wonder about Joe Moorhead's future there. Well, yesterday morning I mentioned maybe he wants out. And then later on during the afternoon, a report comes out that Mississippi State has emerged as a top candidate, according to persons with knowledge of decision-making process. Now, why in the heck, Stokes and Ben, would Rutgers have Joe Moorhead, according to a report, as the leading top target if Joe Moorhead was 100% happy at Mississippi State?
They wouldn't. And he's not.
He looks miserable. He looks miserable, man. He looks miserable.
He does. He really did. I don't ever really feel bad for people when they're not having their job, when they're making that much money. But you could kind of see, and in his press conferences, his body language, like he doesn't want to be there anymore. He don't want to put those ugly colors on anymore.
It just isn't a good personality fit. He's a guy who is from up north. He's not necessarily a Southerner. And not saying that is the end-all, be-all. We've seen Nick Saban come down to the South and run college football. But in some situations, it does matter. And I would probably say that Mississippi State is the most southern state of all the states in the South. So you go from
historically and traditionally, Mississippi State and Alabama.
Yes. And I would probably lean Mississippi State over Alabama slightly.
They're still operating a little bit behind other states in some areas. We can say that.
They are. But, yeah, I think Joe Moorhead is incredibly uncomfortable, just not in a good culture fit for him and his family. And I think Rutgers would be a great place for him just in terms of a culture fit. And that's not to say that Joe Moorhead can't work with Southerners or the other way around. It's just some guys, it just isn't their thing. And that's okay.
The SEC is not for everybody.
No, it's
guys.
not.
Think about this, Stokes, Ben. When Chip Kelly was out of the NFL, everyone just assumed, oh, yeah, Florida. Oh, slam dunk. All the athletes in the world, one of the top jobs in the country, Chip Kelly, Florida, boom, let's go. And then we start talking about Chip Kelly, Tennessee, oh, let's go. Chip Kelly wanted nothing to do with the SEC. Chip Kelly going to Memphis and Atlanta or in some other parts trying to recruit. Imagine Chip Kelly in the living room when Grandma asked Chip Kelly to dance a little bit. He ain't doing that. He's not going to be able to do that. 63 players have left UCLA since he's been there, UCLA. 63 players already. Some things are not just – the SEC is not for everybody. And it wasn't for him. When's the last time a coach in the SEC said, I'm leaving and I'm taking a step-down job. Like I'm leaving on my own. Not getting fired, not getting the buyout money. I'm leaving on my own. Joe Moorhead, if he leaves Mississippi State to go to Rutgers, think about how crazy that is. A coach is leaving the SEC to go to Rutgers?
What?
I hope he stays because I want Rutgers to hire Butch Jones so Tennessee can stop paying Butch.
You ain't never lied, Stokes. You ain't never lied. Give me back my money.
Yes. Like it's absurd. He making $35,000 at Alabama. He making less than most people at Alabama, but he's making millions off of his buyout at Tennessee, and he's supposed to be out there looking for a comparable job.
$200,000 a month.
Go be Rutgers head coach.
When was the last time, other than Dan Mullen, an SEC coach left a school because they were not fired?
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, no, James Franklin, wasn't it?
I guess
James Franklin. Yeah,
but he took a better job. Like
yes. Would you consider the Ohio State job better than the Florida job?
I'd say they're probably about the same, honestly. Yeah. It's easier to win and win championships at Ohio State than it would be at Florida.
But he didn't leave to go to Ohio State. He left because he was tired. He didn't
he
feel.
Left to go to Ohio
he had tummy ache. He had tummy ache, man.
he left to go to either Ohio State or Notre Dame, whichever one opened up first.
No, remember he's working for ESPN for a year.
I know he was waiting. He was resting. He was getting out of there while the getting was good.
He was sipping on Tussin, getting ready for his next gig, like what he's doing now for Fox.
Exactly.
He's getting ready to take over USC probably.
Most likely.
Speaking of the Pac-12, did you all see this quote from Molly McGrath in the UCLA-Stanford game regarding Tennessee?
Yeah, I saw it. Read it, please.
Molly, you did not have to mention this on air.
Please read this. Please.
Stuart Mandel tweeted it out. I was not watching the UCLA-Stanford. I was watching the Yankees take a crap on all my hopes and dreams. But Stuart Mandel tweeted, the most interesting moment of UCLA Stanford, Molly McGrath just now, plugging the Tennessee-Alabama game, says she talked to a couple of Vols players who said, this doesn't look like an Alabama team that can win a national championship.
I got questions. I have questions. Do y'all have questions? I have questions.
Well,
I have questions.
I have a want. Can we get this tweet scrubbed from Twitter before Tua wakes up this morning?
No, because we understand the players have certain availability times. When did the players talk to Molly McGrath is what I want to know.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I want to know.
I mean,
like when
that don't even make any sense.
So you
like,
don't
did
believe
she call in
I
and
got
do like
questions.
a conference call with some of the players? Because sometimes if you're covering a game, you get to go on campus. You get to have a phone interviews that other media members aren't privy to. Like that can happen. That's where you get some of these some of the things they show during a game where they're all sitting in a room and all the sideline reporter and the play-by-play and all that. They're all sitting in a room talking to the coach and the quarterback and all that stuff and doing interviews. That way they have stuff to talk about during the game. And the regular rest of the Knoxville media is not allowed. That's not privy. That's not our time. So TV people get a little bit more than the rest of us would get. But when did that interview get conducted where players said that? I'm with you on that.
That's my question. I'm not saying I don't believe her. I'm just saying I have questions.
Somebody tweeted at her and asked her the same thing. And at 1:58 a.m., she said, I individually talked to players from every team before covering them that weekend, and this was on the record conversation that I'll expand upon in our game. You don't have to expand upon the Molly. Just leave it as is.
You know what? Whoever said this to her, you're dumb.
You say done or dumb?
Dumb.
D-U-M-B.
Because
idiotic, it's moronic, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's all every word.
Because you are taught. Everything is on the record. You can't let your guard down with any media member. I don't care if she's pretty. I don't care if she's ugly. I don't care if the guy is funny. I don't care if the guy is nice. You never let your guard down. Everything is on the record. Everything. And if a player, it sounds like it's true, said this, don't look for any mercy on Saturday. Because if I'm Alabama, if I'm an Alabama player, because I've been on the other side of this thing. I've been a player at Tennessee, and Marshawn Lynch said some things in on TV publicly that we took as disrespect. And that's why they got their head beat in the way they did in 2006. And if I'm an Alabama player, I'm taking this as disrespect. The unawareness of a player, you on a 2-4 football team, what are you talking about? Why would you even say anything close like that? Just asking for it, man. It's just not smart. Why would you give the other team bulletin board material?
One of my buddies, who's a big Alabama fan, texted me and said that Scott Cochran is already yelling it all throughout the locker room.
It just makes no sense.
Scott Cochran is Alabama's strength and conditioning coach.
I appreciate the confidence, but make that a quiet confidence.
That's not
keep
confidence.
That confidence in amongst yourselves. Don't say that publicly.
That's not confidence, Stokes. That's stupidity. Why would you you can be confident in your own play. You can say, hey, we feeling good about the game. We're gonna play our best. We got a good game plan. That's you being confident in yourself. But speaking about how you don't think your opponent is a championship team, what? Who cares? Your job is to beat that team. It don't matter if that team is a championship team or not. Your job is to be 1 point better. Had nothing to do with your confidence. Has everything to do with your stupidity.
That's very true. You're right.
It's dumb.
Now,
nobody care about your opinion about the other team's championship aspirations. Your job is to win the game.
I wonder if the player thought that.
No, he wasn't thinking. He wasn't thinking, man. Exactly. I'm gonna answer that for you. He wasn't thinking.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe the player thought that this conversation was actually off the record.
Probably.
No.
He got duped.
No.
That's what I'm going to choose to believe, Stokes.
Molly was sounding good on the phone. He thought he could relax. No,
Sweet talking.
You can't relax, man.
No,
She is media.
That's a player that thought he was going to sound good by saying that.
No, man, you can't relax.
And that.
The question is, which player do we think said this?
I hope it's one that makes plays.
Jawan? I could see Jawan saying this
No,
because I guarantee you it was an offensive player looking at their defense, because the comment isn't wrong. I've been saying it for 3 weeks. This defense for Alabama is not championship level.
Dude, the team is championship level.
Yeah, but they say can win a national championship.
They can win a national championship. That team can win a national championship.
Not in this person's opinion.
That person is dumb for saying that.
I bet it was an offensive player who's been watching film of that Alabama defense. I bet it was Jawan. Because you got to think, she's going to be talking to the best players. Jawan, Callaway, Trey Smith.
Man.
I bet it's one of those guys.
Man.
I can see Bryce Thompson saying something like this.
Bryce Thompson better not have said this after he's been watching Alabama's wide receivers all week.
Let me stop y'all right now.
But it's not going to be anybody that's not allowed to talk to me either.
Let me stop y'all before someone listening misquotes what y'all saying, and then someone who's living in their mama's basement puts this on the message board that said, Ben said that it was this guy and that guy who said it. Because that's not what we're doing here. No one has said who said it.
No, we're speculating.
Yeah. Not a good decision, whoever said this. Not smart. It's just, if I'm a player and the roles were reversed, think about it. Think about if the roles were reversed and we as fans heard this. Man, Vol Twitter would be going crazy. We would be going crazy. Oh, no mercy. No mercy.
This is like a Kentucky player last year saying that Rick Barnes and that Tennessee basketball team wasn't a championship caliber team.
You got to be on your guard. No interview is off the record.
Correct.
Period.
Correct. Anytime a media member is talking to you, it's pretty much on the record.
Always on the record.
The only time it's not on the record is if it is said explicitly, this is not on the record. This is a private conversation. I am not using this. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Oh,
like, we're just having a conversation. Outside of that, because then if they use it, then that's shady as all get out. But outside of that, you're being interviewed for content to use during the broadcast. Because the stories, the anecdotes, all that stuff, they get that stuff during the week leading up to the game by interviewing and talking to everybody involved with the football program.
My man Stokes, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great weekend, my friend.
You as well, brother. Have a good one.
All right, see ya. Hour 2 coming up here on the Swain event. Be right back.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain event app. Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Touchdown turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, the place where you belong, better rates and better service. ATFCU.com. Listen, man, I can't wait till Molly McGrath explains herself a little bit, because this is what she said she's going to do. Quote, I individually talked to players from every team before covering them that weekend, and this was an on-the-record conversation that I expand upon in our game. So I'll be waiting.
I still don't think that she'll name drop.
No, she don't have to name drop.
But she's definitely going to talk about it on the broadcast.
I just want to know if it's true or not. I don't even care who said it. I just want to know if it's true or not. And I'm pretty sure it's true because it's Molly McGrath, and she is very, very credible.
Yes.
Yeah, she's credible.
She's not going to make up comments. If the comment that she is referring to is not true, it's because somebody lied to her and told her that when they were just lying to her. That'd be the only way it's not true.
Why would they lie to her that about opinion? I mean, it's
I don't know, but people get bad information all the time. That's more so what I was getting at.
I mean, either she misheard it or not. I mean, it's not smart. No awareness. No awareness.
Tennessee has been so good under Jeremy Pruitt in terms of not giving the opponents bulletin board material. And then this week, Darryl Taylor has the nerve to say Tua Tagovailoa is decent.
That's not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. If I'm Tua, I'm taking it as disrespect, and I'm using it as motivation. But in compared to Molly McGrath, was she heard from a Tennessee player? Oh man, it's whew. All right, touchdown turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. Do we need to make this about Tennessee, Alabama, or do we need to veer off and make it about the Tennessee Titans? The Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill is getting the start for the Tennessee Titans this weekend. Marcus Mariota, however you want to say it, he is benched. Does Ryan Tannehill lead the Titans to a victory with multiple touchdown passes? Multiple will mean more than one.
Really?
Hey man, just want to make sure folks understand. Ryan Tannehill leads the Titans to a victory this weekend with multiple touchdown passes. So this is a two-part touchdown turnover. Two things have to happen. Number one, Titans have to win, and Ryan Tannehill has to play well and throw multiple touchdown passes. Do you think this happens at home versus the Chargers?
I'll say touchdown, the Titans win, but I'll say turnover that he throws multiple touchdown passes. I think it will be a defensive-generated win that Tannehill just – oh, let me backtrack. It's Ryan Tannehill, but I like to say Ryan Tannehill just because it's fun to say. So Tannehill. I think we'll have a touchdown pass, but I think the Titans will try to get back to really pounding the ball with Derrick Henry. Bleed that clock. Let your defense continue to play lights-out football. Kind of follow the same game plan that Tennessee did against Mississippi State in the second half. Now, they're not literally going to watch the Tennessee-Mississippi State tape and say, we're going to do that this weekend, but it'll just be very similar. So I say touchdown. The Titans beat the Chargers. This Chargers team has completely fallen off. I saw a statistic where last year the Chargers didn't lose their fourth football game until the very end of the season, and they're already at 4 losses this season. So that offense is sputtering and going up against a very good Titans defense. I think that will lead Tennessee to a win over the Chargers this weekend. But offensively, I don't see Ryan Tannehill having multiple touchdown passes because I think that they will really try to bleed the clock and really pound the Chargers defense with Derrick Henry.
So you got turnover,
touchdown, and then turnover.
Yeah, overall turnover. Two things have to happen for it to be true. Touchdown, multiple touchdowns, and a win. One of them's wrong, so it's completely a turnover. And I agree with you. I'm going completely turnover too. I'm going turnover because I don't think he's going to throw more than 2 touchdown passes.
That Titans defense is legit. They are wasting one of the best defenses in the National Football League. I mean, it's a top 5 defense in my opinion. The front end is nasty. The back end is very talented, and the Titans are flat out wasting it right now. So hopefully, Tannehill can spark the Titans.
I hope that Molly McGrath. I hope it's not accurate, but I think I have a feeling that it is, and it makes no sense to me. The lack of awareness. Speaking of lack of awareness, maybe he is aware. Maybe he just don't care. So I saw a quote from Melvin Gordon, Chargers running back, who held out fall camp, training camp, multiple games, and just recently returned to the team and already being quoted saying that he needs more touches. I'm like, what? You just got back on the team, man. You want more touches already? You just got back. What are you talking about, man?
Melvin Gordon is tripping.
You just showed up. You just showed up. That's like showing up to a family reunion or a barbecue. You don't know anybody, and then you just go into the front of the line. Oh, whoa, wait a minute, man. You just got here. You knew. You gotta get to the back of the line. You gotta get to the back of the line.
Especially when Austin Eckler, and I forget the other guy that the Chargers had going there for the first couple of weeks, but Austin Eckler was balling out. The undrafted rookie running back was balling out in those first couple of weeks of the season. And then Melvin Gordon comes back, and then what do you know? The Chargers offense begins to sputter.
Oh, man. I hope it's not. I hope it's not true.
Here's the thing.
I hope it's not true, Molly McGrath, but I think it is. Oh, man.
Yeah, Molly McGrath would not take that on air if it were not true. Like I said, the only reason I think it will end up not being true is if she received bad information.
But she talked to the player. How did she receive bad information? That don't make any sense, man. She's saying she talked to the person. She talked to the player, and the player said this. How's it bad information? It's not like she got it third hand. She's getting it first hand from the player. This is what she said in the tweet.
Yep.
So I don't think it's bad information. I think
unless she is somewhat lying, and it was not firsthand information. Maybe she talked to somebody at UT, and they relayed something that was told to them. But I don't think that at all happened because, as you mentioned, Molly McGrath is very credible, and she's not going to go on the air with bad information.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Matt M says Dennis Franchione left Bama for Texas A&M. That's right, he did. But I want to say either James Franklin or Urban Meyer was the last. I guess it was James Franklin, the last person who left the SEC, last coach who left the SEC to leave the conference
without getting fired.
Yeah, to leave. Yeah, it was James Franklin. Urban Meyer left Florida but took a job at ESPN for a year and then went to Ohio State. Dennis Franchione left Alabama there in 2002, right before the 2003 season, and he went to Texas A&M. That didn't work out so well. But, man, coaches don't leave the SEC to go to other schools outside the SEC. So Joe Moorhead, man, is making some history. The SEC is not for everybody. It's not for everybody as a player. It's not for everybody as a coach. It's a different animal. Going to the text box this morning, Jibber Jabber says, why would players say anything negative about the number one team in the nation? Somebody didn't get the memo. Tremel from Chattanooga says, touchdown turnover. Mitchell wins a playoff game in his career.
Hasn't he already won a playoff game in his career? I think he's referring to Mitchell Trubisky.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wait, the Bears' previous playoff loss, was that the first game of the playoffs for them?
Yeah, they had
okay.
Yeah, Mitchell didn't win one yet.
For some reason, I was thinking that was the second game.
No, not yet. I think Tramel's trying to be funny.
He is.
Tramel, you're a Titans fan. Shh. Tramel. No room to talk to any trash right now. No room. That would be like a Tennessee player talking about Alabama not being a championship team.
I think the worst part of this Molly McGrath storyline is that she says a couple of Vols players said it. Not one, a couple. What? Which, let me ask you this. If it's a couple of Vols players, do you think that this is maybe a message from the top in team meetings trying to, earlier this week we talked about not being intimidated by the brand name, and that's what Butch Jones kind of used the red team. That way his players would not be intimidated. Is this something that maybe the players heard in team meetings this week in a coaching effort for the players not to be intimidated by facing such a prolific offense?
I'm sure. I mean, if I'm Jeremy Pruitt, if I'm a coach on this squad, I'm going to make sure that my players understand that those guys over there put their pants on just like you put your pants on. They're not special. You work hard. You put in the work. Like, that's what I'm saying against a coach. Now, they are more talented and gifted, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let my players know that they're not special. That's what I'm going to say. But if you are Jeremy Pruitt, this is one thing that Coach Fulmer definitely did. He made sure that if he said something that if it had gotten out, it could be a possible problem, he would say, all right, guys, don't go saying this to the media. Don't say this to the media. This stays here. This stays here. And we've seen in the past where players are speaking the same language as their coach. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't hear a player call another player individual in the last 4 or 5 years. So I mean, I could see that happening. And again, that's why you have to make sure that if you say something like that, you don't want that stuff to go outside the meeting room. You don't want that to go outside the team meeting room at all. So at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter when the game is played because they're better than Tennessee. But it's going to add some added fuel to the fire that can make this thing get out of hand quicker.
That I think it will. I truly think that, Pruitt on Monday joked around that Alabama has to actively try not to score 100 points, and that Nick Saban was kind to Tennessee last year in that regard. Alabama won't score 100 on Tennessee this weekend, but I was thinking that Bama would score maybe 49, 50 points, somewhere around there tomorrow. I truly believe that this bumps it up to 60.
Yeah.
I think Bama is going to prove a point this weekend solely based off of this.
Well, if you're Nick Saban, you look for ways to motivate your team and keep your team humble, and here it is. Here it is. Now you can say, look, guys, they don't think you're a championship team. Look at this. You got to prove to the world that you're a championship team. Tonight, you got to prove it. ESPN, 8 p.m. You got to prove it that you're a championship team. You got to do it. This is exactly what Nick Saban and Scott Cochran was waiting on. Some ammunition to use to motivate their team, because it's easy for them to get comfortable. They're beating everybody down. This will bring them back down to size a little bit.
Why can't we have nice things?
Dude, what if Molly McGrath shares with the world who told her that?
I feel bad for that player if that happens. I don't think she will.
I hope not. All right, let's get to the phones this morning. Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning. Turkey Man.
Individuals.
Turkey Man.
Good morning, individuals.
Turkey Man.
You hear me?
Yep.
You hear me? Okay.
Yep.
I said good morning, individuals. I said it's third week in October, and leaves are turning colors. Talking about trendsetters. You remember back when the Wave come out?
The Wave? I don't remember that, man. I don't think I was born when the Wave came out.
Oh, well, I don't remember who started it, but everybody was doing it. And you talk about this light show. You know, when I think of a light show, I think of, I don't know if anybody drives around and look at Christmas lights like I do, but you'll fall in different part of the community and in different areas, and you'll find this trailer, and you know good and well they said, Al, they're going to have them Christmas lights today, so go out there and find that plug in and dig it out of the lace and plug it in. And that's the way I look at it about Alabama Christmas lights personally. But the other thing I was going to say in this before you land my plane, there was a song Ray Stevens had, It's Me Again, Margaret. And I think this falls in the line of that. You ever heard that song?
Can't
Play
say.
it for us, sir, Ben. It's Me Again, Margaret. And I think it'll make sense after you hear the song. But there are going to be listeners out there who understand what I'm saying. Hey, go Vols and pack them cigars.
Well, there once was a feller named Willard McBain, and he only had just one thought on his brain. Every evening about midnight, he'd slip off alone.
What are we doing? What just happened?
And call the same lady.
Is it time for a break?
Telephone.
Are we taking a break?
It's me again, Margaret.
Oh, boy. Hey, man, what are you having us listen to?
Hello, is this Margaret? Upset the lady.
Let's just take a break.
Gave her the blues. So she called the police. Said, what shall I do? Well, the chief of detectives came around to her home.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Hey, it's Chris Lowe of ESPN. And listen, maybe Jason Swain didn't wear number one quite as well as the great Leonard Little did at Tennessee, but he is your go-to guy for all things Big Orange. Join us weekly on the Swain event, brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine and trsportsmedicine.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Hey y'all, check it out. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a brand new happy hour special right now that you don't want to miss. Get $2 off of their fantastic barbecue queso appetizer from 2 to 4 p.m. That's queso loaded with your choice of pork, chicken, or brisket and served with Frito scoops. And for the rest of the month, check out their new Pig and Peaches salad for $11. This thing is loaded with salad mix, grape tomatoes, fire-roasted peaches, pickled red onions, pork belly burn-ins, goat cheese, and topped with a delicious balsamic vinaigrette. Dead End Barbecue. The barbecue surge is over.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Hey there, Swain event listeners. It's football time in Tennessee. While you're cheering on the Vols, you might be thinking, I would love to buy a home with a great place to entertain for games. Or maybe you're thinking, I'm tired of hosting all of these people at my house and we don't need all this space anymore. Whatever your plans may be, when you are ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call me, Jennifer Morris, at Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com, and go Vols.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
Time for Attaboy here in the Swain event. Highlighting positivity, highlighting positive stories. The news is dominated by negativity, so we're going to bring some light to the world of dark news that we get most of the time. So, Ben, you said you have one. What do you got for Attaboy today?
I do, and if you don't mind pulling up the DeAndre Hopkins story that has hit the internet this week, I'd love to share with the good people that story because thanks to Molly McGrath, I think we can all use some positivity in our life this morning. But I'm giving an attaboy to former Tampa Bay Buccaneer great running back Warrick Dunn, who surprised a single mother with a new home. This is something that Warrick Dunn has done for years and years and years. Deshaun Watson was actually a beneficiary of Warrick Dunn's project to help people who can't afford homes have a home. But this article from the Tampa Bay Times reads that LaToya Reedy always dreamed of being a homeowner, but it seemed unattainable. As a single mother to her 18-year-old son, Antrez Reedy worked hard as a certified nursing assistant to provide a stable lifestyle for him, but the unpredictability of renting kept her living paycheck to paycheck. She said that I got tired of paying the high rent, and with renting, it goes up every month. The constant increases in rent forced Reedy and her son to move into a tight, overcrowded living space with her mother. For 2 years, they shared one room with her mother and rotated sleeping on the bed, and shared one bathroom with 5 family members in the household. But on Tuesday morning, her dream came true. Thanks to Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco counties and its partnership with furniture company Aaron's Healthcare Providers, and former Buccaneer Work Done's nonprofit Work Done Charities. Reedy and her son received a fully furnished 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. The house is nearly 2,000 square feet, while the furniture store donated $10,000 worth of furniture, appliances, and interior design. And another organization donated a down payment for assistance and groceries of nearly $10,000. So Work Done continuing to help those in need of a home find a home. So huge attaboy to Work Done, who is just doing tremendous work. And I believe I saw a stat where he is up to 174 homes in terms of how many families he's helped find a home, which is so awesome. And in today's world of negativity, he is shining a bright light on many.
You mentioned DeAndre Hopkins' story.
If you are following the Swain event on Twitter,
the DeAndre Hopkins story is a story that will bring tears to your eyes. I encourage folks to go search that story. His mother was attacked with a chemical mixture. This mixture was thrown on her face when he was, I want to say 10 years old, and she was blind in one eye and barely has any sight in the other eye, and almost died. His father died when he was a youngster in a car accident, but his father was going to serve some big time for drug trafficking. He's from Clemson, South Carolina, and they have this special bond, and it's just a really, really cool story. And DeAndre Hopkins is one of the really good dudes of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's not your prototypical diva wide receiver, man. He just goes out there and puts in the work and produces for his football team. It's kind of hard not to be a DeAndre Hopkins and a Deshaun Watson fan, because they just do it the right way, and they're one of the best duos in the league. But just go and search the DeAndre Hopkins story. You will enjoy it. It's really, really, really good. ESPN is doing a feature on it.
Mina Kimes, she said a few years ago she noticed DeAndre Hopkins was wearing cleats that said "in domestic violence," and she wondered why. Followed up on it and wrote a tremendous article that you are referencing. And then Work Done, that was his 173rd house. So great work.
Yeah. Ward Dunn's been doing this for years, man. Years and years and years. And Ward Dunn's not talked about enough, and he should be talked about a whole lot more. 865-255-03B, Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Vol Titan says, listen to you guys every day. Ordered my first Swain Event Cup today. Now on to my question. Over or under 17 on the amount of points the Vols score against Bama. 17 points, over, under, against Bama tomorrow. Ben, you feel very confident about Tennessee putting up points, but do you feel like Tennessee will get over 17?
After Molly McGrath's report, no. I don't know. I've been going back and forth on whether or not they will get past 17. One moment or one conversation, I'll feel good about it. The next conversation, I don't feel good about it. They have the opportunity to. I think I lean to yes. And granted, I don't think they'll go. If they go over 17 points, I don't think it'll be by a lot. If they go over 17, it'll be 20, 23, 24, somewhere in there. But I think I lean towards yes. Tennessee goes over 17 points just slightly, because in the middle of that Alabama defense is Shane Lee and Christian Harris, 2 freshman linebackers that are playing because Joshua McMillan and the other great Bama linebacker, Dylan Moses, who is probably going to be a first-round pick in this upcoming NFL draft until he tore his ACL, I believe it was, during preseason camp. Both he and Josh McMillan tore the ACLs in preseason camp. They were Alabama's inside linebackers, which now Shane Lee, Christian Harris, 2 freshman inside linebackers, have had to take over those roles. And while they were elite recruits, they are great talents, they are going to be very good football players, they're just struggling to be consistent right now, kind of like what Darnell Wright and Wanya Morris were struggling with at the beginning of the season. And if you go back and you watch the Texas A&M game, Jimbo Fisher put those freshman linebackers in a lot of situations to where they had to run from sideline to sideline repeatedly and put them in situations to where they had to think a lot. So the reason that I lean Tennessee barely surpassing 17 points is solely because of Jim Chaney. I think Jim Chaney is going to dial up some plays that really put those freshman inside linebackers in maybe compromising positions isn't the right phrase to use, but situations to where they're thinking too much, and because they are thinking and not just playing, they have a poor play, a poor rep. So because of Jim Chaney's ability to call up plays and put defenses in bad positions against young guys, I slightly lean that they'll score more than 17.
Yeah. I don't even know, man. I guess. Sure. Let's go more than 17. I guess. I feel like such a loser even discussing whether or not Tennessee's going to score more than 17, because if they do, what does that even mean? If you lose the game, you still lose the game. Does it mean like, oh, we should feel good about scoring over 17 points no matter how much Alabama scores? I mean, I'm not a big fan of moral victories, and this week has always been different for me, special for me, because it's Tennessee, Alabama. So I don't care if it's a 1-point win or a 1-point loss or whatever. You either win or you lose the game. So I'll answer the question. I think they will. I think they will score 17 or more. But it doesn't matter if Alabama scores 60.
Exactly. That's the problem. Is it doesn't matter how many points. It's very similar to the Georgia game. It doesn't matter how many points Tennessee scores, because Tennessee's defense probably isn't going to slow down Alabama's offense, just as was the case in the Georgia game. Brian Maurer had a terrific first half, but ultimately it did not matter because Tennessee's defense couldn't do anything to Georgia's offense. Am I wrong for thinking that, okay, well, South Carolina put up 23 points, Ole Miss put up 31 points, A&M put up 28 points. Am I wrong for thinking that because those teams were able to have some offensive success, and they're not teams like LSU that have the number one offense in the country, am I wrong for thinking that because they did it, Tennessee should be able to do it?
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, that's honestly kind of what I'm basing it off of. I see Ole Miss, who has a freshman quarterback and not a lot of great weapons around him. Tennessee actually has better weapons around Brian Maurer, assuming Maurer plays, than John Reese Plumlee does at Ole Miss. Ole Miss has one playmaker, Scotty Phillips, their running back, and their offensive line is pretty decent. But outside of that, they lack playmakers. Tennessee has playmakers.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong looking at previous opponents put up points against Alabama and go, well, I mean, Tennessee can score points. But when are those points being scored is my question, because, Tennessee against Georgia, those 14 points look better than points that are scored when you're already down 4 or 5 touchdowns and you're just scoring when they've let the foot off the gas. So timing for me is important. Can Tennessee score points when it matters, when it truly matters, in the first quarter, in the first half, when you're going back and forth against the opponent? That's kind of why I felt how I felt about the question. It's like, yeah, I mean, 17 points over under. I mean, who really cares? It's when they score the points.
Right.
When they score the points. I mean, if you're down 50-0 in the fourth quarter and you score 17, does it really matter?
Nope.
No, not really at all. But if you score 17 points in the first half and you're within a score or two heading into second half, then okay, those 17 points mean more to me than the other 17 points. So that's why it took me a while to kind of have a strong opinion about the question and about scoring points against Alabama. This is we're emotional fans. Fan is short for fanatic, right? Mm-hmm. We always go in mama bear mode. And you can be a guy and go to mama bear mode. What I mean by mama bear mode is anything there's something said about your school. Before waiting to see if it's true or not, we go in mama bear mode and go, no, not true. No. There's an ESPN anti-vol agenda. Huh? Like we do that even before we find out if it's true or not. I saw a message to me this morning. It was like, anti-vol ESPN agenda. It's like, look at yourself. You sound silly here. Last week, Kurt Herbstreit had Tennessee in his top 5 as far as programs performing over the weekend with their win over Mississippi State. There's no agenda. You can't claim agenda when you ain't winning. You just really can't do that. So how about we wait and see if it's true or not before we claim that someone's being treated unfair or fair. So now we have something else to kind of, watch the game up for. Obviously, you're going to watch the game to watch the game, but there's another story inside of the game, and that's the Molly Graf report.
Real quick before we go to break, I just want to share with you the fourth quarter points that Alabama has given up in the games that I mentioned. South Carolina scored 23 against Alabama. 10 of those came in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
But it was 14-10 at the end of the first quarter.
Okay. Those 10 points matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, and then they scored 3 in the third quarter, which, Alabama allowed Ole Miss to score 31 points. Ole Miss scored 10 in the first quarter, was actually leading 10-7 at the end of the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And then Ole Miss scored 14 of their 31 points in the fourth quarter. So some garbage time points there.
Yeah.
And then last weekend against A&M, it was a 24-13 game at halftime. So A&M scored 13 points in the first half, and then they scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. They had 28 points on the afternoon. 8 of those came in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
So kind of a mixed bag.
No, good information, man. I mean,
some early success, a little bit, and then some garbage time points.
When do you score the points? That's what matters to me more than really anything else. 865-255-03. Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
Tap water often contains harmful chemicals and additives. When you call for your free water test from Hiller, we'll show you exactly what's in your water and how to remove it. Enjoy cleaner, healthier water in your home. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your free in-home appointment today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Gentlemen, are you feeling tired and grumpy? It could be low T, or it could be sleep apnea. Millions of men not only suffer from low T, but also undiagnosed sleep apnea. Low T Center provides a complete health assessment to check all of your levels. And right now, they're offering a $49 home sleep test to find out if you have sleep apnea in the comfort of your own bed. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to take care of your health. And most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Today looks to be sunny with a high of 70 and a low of 45. There is a 70% chance of rain tomorrow with a high near 66 and a low around 53. There may be a little more rain on Sunday, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-70s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Be Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call Be Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. Be Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, Be Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call Be Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at BeDry.com.
We all know that Vol Nation is all over the country. Traveling to games is a fun time for the entire family, but deciding where to stay can be a bit stressful. That's where the Big Orange Faithful at the Hampton Inn downtown come in. General Manager Stephen Lawrence and his team go over and beyond to make sure that you have the best stay in their brand new rooms. They have the cleanest rooms in the game, which include flat screen, microwave, and fridge. Not to mention breakfast is included in the room rate. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the best part. The Hampton Inn downtown is less than a mile from Neyland Stadium. While you're planning your game day trips, be sure to check out Hampton Inn online at hamptoninn.com and search Knoxville. Book Hampton Inn downtown today.
Hey, Mr. Max, you heard the lowdown? Nah, homie, give me the word on what's going on. Tell him what it is, Big Will.
Mac, and the lowdown is no money down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. No money down at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. Not $1,000 down, not $100 down, not even a nickel down. Low down, no down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. 2 minutes from the airport, so fly on down to the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, home of the original low down, no down payment. That is, why would you buy from anywhere else when you know we gonna get you done? Good credit, bad credit, slow credit, we will get you approved. So come on down to 911 Louisville Road, the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, or call 865-980-8216. Turn down for what?
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. Yeah, 865-255-03. 865-255-03 is our telephone number to the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Oh boy. See here. The Molly McGrath. I think we're gonna get some information during the game, and she says, and we'll move on from this. If you're just tuning in, Stuart Mandel tweeted out 8 hours ago or so the most interesting moment of UCLA-Stanford game. Molly McGrath just now plugging the Tennessee-Alabama game says she talked to a couple of Vol players who says, quote, this doesn't look like an Alabama team that can win a national championship. And then a Tennessee fan responded and said that they were curious at what point during the week do sideline reporters have access to talk to players to prep for weekend games. Molly responded by saying, I individually talked to players from every team before covering them that weekend. And this was an on-the-record conversation that I'll expand upon in our game. So all eyes will be on Molly, and I just hope that she is 100% accurate with this, because this comes across that she talked to multiple players. So if only one player said this, that would not be true. Even though the one player, if he did say it would be bad, it says that multiple players were spoken to. And she just better make sure that she did not take anything out of context either. So we'll be watching. We'll be watching Alabama-Tennessee game, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
You have a responsibility. I'll be at the game, which means I won't be watching the broadcast. So when Molly drops this information, I need you to let me know ASAP.
Man.
I also feel bad for next week's broadcast crew for the South Carolina game. They are going to get zero access next week.
No, they won't, man.
Well, they'll get access, but
you might not be talking to a player.
No. If I'm Pruitt, I'm not letting the players talk next week to the broadcast crew.
You know what, man? I don't know if I can say that.
Or maybe I'm limiting the amount of players. Maybe just one player representative, one offensive player, one defensive guy.
No, I can't do that.
Why is that?
We cover SEC football. We cover Tennessee, but I want to say it was last week, Oklahoma-Texas game.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts tweeted out basically a highlight video of the game they just played. There was no possible way that Jalen Hurts would have been able to tweet that out at that time. It was fresh after the game. You know what happened? Someone did it for him. Someone did it for him. The Oklahoma media folks did that for him. When you are a program and you're trying to separate yourself away from the pack, when you're recruiting players, you've already done that a little bit with the Jordan brand, Jumpman logo. That gets kids' attention. One thing that is clear as day, is that kids care more about their brand now than ever before. They have Twitter, they have Instagram, they have Facebook. They care about their brand. And they come across as selfish, but they care about their brand. If you are Oklahoma, you can say, look what we're doing with Jalen Hurts. We want him to be the Heisman. We want him to get recognition. We want him to get national attention. They're marketing him. If you're Jeremy Pruitt, you can't not let your players talk to the ESPN folks or the CBS folks. You want them to get that exposure. You want your players to get exposure. You can't hide and shield them. What you have to do is just teach them to be better. Like Mike Leach, in the middle of the season, instituted a social media ban on his players. Why? Because they stink. He didn't do it last year when they were winning. He did it mid-season. Why? Because he couldn't control it. So it's better to teach them, allow them to do it, rather than just ban them. Banning them doesn't teach them anything. That's why I say, if you're Pruitt, no matter what happens during the broadcast tomorrow, if Molly McGrath is thorough, and she explains this is what was said, and she comes across looking clean as day. If you're Tennessee, you just got to teach your guys to be smarter next time about what to say and understand that nothing is off the record when you're talking to a media member. That's why I say that. Let's go to the phones, and who we got?
Your middle school football coach.
That's his name, my middle school football coach? Let's get to Rusty. Rusty, good morning, man. It's Bama week.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I this week is always touch and go for me. It's always emotional. You know that. I wish that I had a little bit more optimism about the game, but hey, it's always a good week to kind of think about friendships with all my Bama people like yourself. So good morning, man. Hope you're doing well, and I miss you. I was in Huntsville a couple weeks ago, but I was in and out for a funeral and didn't have a chance to stay longer and connect with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm about to. My Mr. Moore's about to pick me up. We're headed down this morning to listen to Mr. Nick speak about 12 o'clock, and then we'll go to the game tomorrow. So I just thought I'd give you our annual call on Friday before the game.
Well.
How's the family?
Family's good. Family's good, man.
Good.
Family's good.
I was listening to the show, so I guess somebody said something they wasn't supposed to.
Allegedly, someone has said something that may
may
give Alabama some ammunition.
A little bulletin board ammunition.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm sure that'll be talked about during the broadcast, and I'm sure it's been talked about already with old Scott Cochran and Nick Saban. They love to find new ways to motivate their team, and I'm sure these quotes will be used. So. Tennessee buckle up.
I had lunch with a couple of your or dinner with a couple of your ex-teammates last night.
How'd that go?
Joey Morphew and Stephen Colley.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we were just reminiscing about how good you were in high school, and we always talk about this. People don't realize how good a basketball player you were when you were in high school.
I still love the game more than I love football. That ain't gonna change.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No way.
That ain't gonna change, man. I still love basketball more than football.
Yeah.
Stop acting surprised. You know that.
That's true.
you know. I got a phone call out of the blue from Manchild last week.
Oh,
and that's
really?
Really? That's the older brother. Yeah, that's the older brother of Reggie Ragland, who played at Alabama, who's now a linebacker there with the Kansas City Chiefs, and. Reggie Ragland's older brother I played with in high school, and so he just called me out of the blue last week, and it was really cool phone call actually. So,
good God, he was a heck of as another great athlete.
He was great. Should play football.
Well, man, y'all could continue with the show, and I just thought I'd give you a call, and you know how much you mean to me. So
no doubt,
y'all have a good day tomorrow. And we'll see you when you get back up here, and we'll go eat.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Okay.
Love you,
Bye-bye.
man. See you.
Love you, too. See you.
865-255-03, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Act like he didn't know that. You knew I love basketball more than football. I had to play football. Just had to, man. Stop growing. All right, going back to the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline this morning. Big Worm says, Swain, a lot of talk about Voltaire last night about trying to get 102-455 for the South Carolina game. What say you? Is it possible? Is it possible to pack out the South Carolina game? It's a 4 o'clock game next weekend. Is it possible? It's possible. Does it happen? I don't think so. I don't think so. Are we talking about packing out the stadium like it used to be packed out, where it's predominantly Tennessee fans? Are we talking about every seat being taken? It doesn't matter who is sitting in what seat. Doesn't matter if it's a Tennessee fan or a South Carolina fan. I think you will see somewhere in the 90s, and I don't think the visiting crowd would be as big as it was at Georgia because Georgia's good. And South Carolina fans are disappointed and upset right now too. Yeah, they disappointed and upset too.
After beating Georgia?
The season as a whole.
Okay. I think that there will be more South Carolina fans than usual, but it won't be anywhere near the Georgia fans just because quite frankly, there aren't as many South Carolina fans as there are Georgia fans. I think they'll be in the 90s.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
Like 94, 95 at best.
Yeah, it need to be the 90s, man. SEC football game, I'm gonna say 90s. A 4 p.m. game.
Mississippi State was 85,000.
Oh, I thought I had it right here. Oh, there it is. 85,462. SEC game at noon. 85,462.
And there were more Mississippi State fans than I anticipated.
So
I think it'll be around 90.
Here's the thing that stinks though. Next week's game is like the game. It's the start of the new season for Tennessee. It's the game because if you win that game, we're really, really talking about a bowl game in a serious way. Like there's a really good possibility Tennessee can get to a bowl game. South Carolina may be the toughest team on the schedule left besides Missouri. And so you got to win South Carolina if you don't beat Missouri if you want to get to a bowl game and win the rest of those. So what stinks, though, is you're playing away. And how you play away may be the deciding factor for some fans in whether or not they're going to come next weekend. But look who you're playing. You're playing arguably the best team in college football. And they may play their butts off. They may play pretty well, but it may not even matter according to the score, and that may deter people from coming to the game. And it shouldn't. Next week's game is so important. I think last week's performance against Mississippi State, I think the coaches and the players, I think that they earned our support next week against South Carolina. I really feel like the way they played, the way they came out, took care of business, they deserve a packed house. As much as you can pack it out, considering the circumstances, they don't deserve 85. Oh, they don't deserve 102, 455.
94, 95, somewhere there.
But they deserve
a nice crowd.
A good crowd, man,
yes,
with the home field advantage.
The student section to show up. The student section was non-existent.
They was empty.
The student section at Tennessee has been poor for years, and part of that is because of the on-field product. But that's a different conversation. And I 100% agree with you with the fans. In regards to the Alabama game, are you at all worried that all the confidence that was built up against Mississippi State will be lost this weekend?
There'll be some emotional, illogical fans who will totally forget about what happened last week against Mississippi State, and they'll blame the coaches for everything, and they'll think our players are the worst thing ever.
Well, I'm asking for
tomorrow.
From a player's perspective, like the players, do you think their confidence that was built up against Mississippi State, do you think that tomorrow's game, assuming it goes like we think it will just destroy all that confidence and they'll have to start back from ground zero, I guess?
They shouldn't. I mean, this is the best team in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know that the next tier you can play with. I mean, for a half you were right there with Florida. You should have went into the half with the lead against Florida, and Florida's a top 10 team. So yeah, you're gonna get beat down by the Georgias and the Alabamas and those teams right now, but you have the film that you can show the play and show how close you were, or this play and that play, in the Florida game in the first half. So that should give you confidence going into next week against South Carolina. So no, I don't think confidence should be shattered no matter what happens tomorrow. Swain Event, Hour 3 coming up.
Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Let's go to the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline to start hour 3 here. And hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Let's get to Josh in Virginia. Josh, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Hey, I know that they'll probably end up losing tomorrow, but I just don't see it as deflating as what some think. They bounced back from the Georgia loss because they knew that they tried hard. They were up against the wall, and they pulled it out the very next week. And I think this will probably do the same thing. I think they'll see how they can play up against the best team in the country, and then realize that this game is a must-win if they want to go into the postseason and get it pulled out.
Yeah, I hate to look ahead because we play Alabama tomorrow, but man, I am really, really excited for the South Carolina game because it's 4 p.m. kick, so there's going to be some good tailgating. It's going to be a nice crowd, and then there's so much on the line for Tennessee. South Carolina's going to come off a tough game this weekend, and they'll probably lose, and so they'll be in desperation mode for a win. They have the toughest schedule in the country, so they'll look at this game like Mississippi State should have looked at the game, and it's going to be a game between two teams who are not going to Atlanta, but there's still a lot on the line. Like for Tennessee, there's a chance to get to a ball game, and for South Carolina, there's a sense of urgency for those guys. And so it doesn't have to be a championship caliber matchup for it to be a really good game. Both teams are going to want to win that game really, really bad, and we're going to get some great effort. And best players make plays in big moments. So guys like Jawan Jennings and Trey Smith and Henry To'o, guys that we've seen make plays in big games. I'm looking forward to see what they do next weekend as well as this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my son, my 7-year-old, his first game time experience. We came to the Orange and White game a couple of years ago, and it's just not the same.
No.
So hopefully they'll pull it out. I'm 500 for watching Vols games, so hopefully I can actually see them win another one. So, all right, guys, you have a great weekend.
Hey, thank you, Josh. Let's keep it going. It's nothing like taking your kid to the game, though. There's nothing like it, though. Because to see the little things that really, really impress them, makes their eyes wide, get them excited, it's really cool to see.
I have obviously not been able to experience that, but one of my favorite things about game day, just walking around campus before you walk into the stadium, is when, whether it's Smokey the real dog or Smokey the mascot, the 2 or 3 that walk around campus, I always love seeing the little kids' reactions to seeing Smokey. It is the absolute best.
They love Smokey, man.
And seeing kids at the Vol Walk get all excited when Jawan Jennings walks by, and Daryl Taylor and Daniel Batuli and guys like that. It's super cool.
I haven't been to a Vol Walk in a while.
I used to go religiously. Every time I went to a game, I was at the Vol Walk, but I haven't been to one since Butch's last season, second to last season under Butch.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
The Vol Walks have also been about as thin as my hair this year.
Yeah, man. It's good for getting a good spot.
Yeah. But it's also one of those things when Tennessee starts winning again, those things take care of itself. Attendance takes care of itself. The Vol Walk attendance takes care of itself.
Like, I love the Vol Walk as a player. I've did it so many times. I guess it's just one of those things that since you did it, and you were involved, like you were actually doing the Vol Walk, like watching it, it's just.
Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, once or twice.
You take your oldest to watch it.
I don't remember. I don't remember who was with me, but like it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Which is why like I've never like put it on my schedule. Like, yo, got to make the Vol Walk at this time. Now, when I go to the game, the tee opening up, I got to see that every single time.
I take a video of it every single time.
Yeah, I took a video of it Georgia game.
It's the same every single time, but in a weird way, it's also not the same.
Yeah.
Every single time. It is. Tennessee has so many cool traditions, which is why Tennessee losing as much as they have over the last decade or so is so frustrating, because Tennessee is such a cool college football environment. Not even college football environment. It's just a cool place to be when Tennessee is winning. When Tennessee is winning and they're on the verge of playing in a huge college football game, the Vol Walk, the atmosphere at the Vol Walk, there's nothing like it. I remember the Vol Walk at the Battle of Bristol. That is the best Vol Walk I've ever been to. I mean, just a mile of people packed, and I'm talking 10 people deep in one area.
2004, I think Sports Illustrated or ESPN, one of the two, put out a magazine, and Kevin Simon, along with a bunch of fans and cheerleaders, and was on the front page. And Tennessee was voted like the number 1 college atmosphere in the country. And when this place is winning, it's hard to beat it. You know, you look at Tennessee basketball, was voted the best arena amongst the players in the SEC. It's because we were winning, and the crowd was electric, and just the fan interaction was great. The fan participation was great, and that's why TBA was voted one of the best in the SEC by players. Winning football, and yeah, it'll be like it was there with that magazine cover in 2004. Kevin Simon with the headband. All right, let's go back to the phones. And who we got next?
We got Vol Storm and then Mark.
Vol Storm, good morning.
Been over there getting his picture taken with Smokey and the little kids like Charlie Murphy at karate practice.
Hey, man, you're never too old to take a picture with Smokey.
I don't remember the last time I took a photo with Smokey. I think it was the 2012 Tennessee-Florida game when College Game Day was here, and me and my dad were standing in line to get into College Game Day at like 5 in the morning, and Smokey walked by, and my dad, being the parent that he is, said, "Ben, get down there, take a picture with him so I can send it to your mother."
So that wasn't that too long ago.
No, that was my junior year of high school.
But you're not too old to take a picture with Smokey, man.
Hey, don't bother me. Only a true Tennessee fan would want to take a photo with Smokey
You look
Volstorm.
like a little kid. Hey, how did the best team in the series do last night, Ben?
They blew all their chances again. They're like 2 for 500,000 with runners in scoring position. Had the bases loaded in the first inning, the third inning, and the fifth inning, and they got 1 run off of that. And it came on a walk with the bases loaded. Did not come up with a single hit with the bases loaded on 3 separate occasions. And then, of course, the Yankees strand the bases loaded, and the very next inning, an error, a bloop single, and then a 3-run home run from Carlos Correa, and the season just goes down the drain. That's my sports luck right there. That right there. And then watching CC walking off the mound, I wanted to cry.
Well, we all have our different ways of coping.
Yeah, my way of coping is driving down to Tuscaloosa to cheer on the Balls.
Yeah, but if it's for work, it doesn't matter.
True.
Guys, when are we going to give our players the memo about it doesn't matter if a reporter says it's off the record, it's on the record?
I mean, I want to hear more about the interview. I want to hear more context, but you just gotta be careful, man. Not to allow your words to be twisted, not allow the reporter to take anything out of context. You just gotta be really careful. And I know, like, we were like told, don't give the opponent any extra bulletin board material. And when we won games in the locker room, right after we sang, and right before Coach Fulmer addressed the team, we did our prayer, and then we were, allowed to get dressed and get ready to go, whatever, and players were going to do their interviews. He reminded us, be gracious to your opponent. Exact words. Be gracious to your opponents. That means don't go talking about how sorry they were and how easy the game was, and you just don't do that. You just always take the high road, and it just takes one player to kind of mess that up. So, Molly said it's more than one player. This is how I'm reading it. So I just hope that everything that she said is 100% accurate, because if it's not, people are going to pick holes at it and they're going to come at her. It's another story inside of the game. We might be paying more attention to the story than we do the actual game, and maybe that's not a bad thing.
Guys, before I go, I want to just pop in a little bit of self-reflection to help everybody kind of understand where they are.
Let's do it.
If your pumpkin has more teeth than you do, you might be a Bammer.
That's true.
If you have more A's on your truck than you ever did on your report card, you might be a Bammer.
That's true.
And lastly, if your favorite social media dating site is Ancestry.com, you might be a Bammer. See you, boys!
Give him 6. Touchdown!
I'm trying to find every button I can push to let Volstorm know that was a great, great phone call. 100%. 100%. No lies there. No lies detected from Volstorm at all.
And it doesn't really matter what the score is tomorrow, because you know why? I'm still not going to give a damn about the whole state of Alabama, except for Huntsville.
No, that's not going to change. That's not going to change at all. 865-255-03, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's see here. Who's next?
Mark.
Let's get to Mark. Mark, good morning.
Swain, my brother, what's up?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, man, Volstorm forgot one.
What's
He
that?
forgot one more. Fellas, if your family tree is a wreath, you may be a Bammer.
Yep.
Hey, man, it's Friday. Bama week. We ain't shocking the world. but we're gonna do all right, man. If it ain't 28-0 at the end of the first quarter like it was last year, that's improvement. That's all I'm looking for. Still just watching improvement. Give me some improvement. Let's not have our quarterback get killed the first 3 snaps of the game.
I mean,
what would you be happy with tomorrow, Swaino?
I'm not going to be happy tomorrow.
If it's a loss, I guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's Alabama, man. I'm not going to be happy.
I'm not going to be happy unless we can shock the world. Don't see it happening, but, hey, I'll be watching it at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to be happy. But
I have my jar open, probably mostly drunk by the time it's over.
Hey, just because I'm not going to be happy doesn't mean I won't be able to pick out some positives that we can carry to the next game. But I've never, ever been happy about losing Alabama, and that's not going to change. So nope. I'm not going to be happy.
There are no such thing as moral victories, just improvement.
Yep, exactly.
All right, boys, that's all I got.
See you.
Y'all be good. Go Vols,
you too, man. Let me read this message on text box.
It's a doozy.
Look out, Vol. Great show as always, gang. Thank you. I think it's hilarious that you guys are so adamant Brian Maurer should not start against Georgia State. I think you meant Georgia. Now, 3 or 4 weeks later, you're calling for him to start against Alabama. I, for one, hope he does start, but you guys seem to possibly have another reason for wanting him to start. What's up with that? Go Vols. He should start because he's the best quarterback for Tennessee to win and offensively have more success. So what's the problem? Now, if you remember correctly, during the Georgia week, I said I did not want him to start because I didn't want him to go in and turn the football over first possession and get down. That's what I was afraid of. He did not do that. We did a really good job of managing him, had a double move, and we hit that double move, and then boom, we got some momentum, and he was ready to go. But he was going to play in that football game. I wanted those guys to get a lot of reps, both quarterbacks, and whoever played the best should have continued to play. It's been established that Brian Maurer gives the offense some more options, but last game against Mississippi State reminded us why he hasn't played as much as he could have played. It's because of the decision making. It's because of the turnovers, and it's not like one quarterback is so much better than the other right now. They're both turning the football over. But last game, we were fortunate enough to have a strong running game and a dang good defensive performance, and we were able to get a win with a great play by Tyler Bird, some good blocking on the outside from our wide receivers that we sprung a touchdown late in the fourth quarter to win that game. So look out, Vol. I don't even know what you're talking about when you mention us having possibly another reason for wanting him to start. I want him to start because he's the better quarterback right now. He's playing the best. He gives the offense a better chance to be successful when he's not turning the football over. So, the most important thing here is Tennessee winning. There's no team Brian Maurer. There's no team Jared Garantano. There's one team. The team is Tennessee. And if Jared gives Tennessee the best chance to win, then he should play. If Brian Maurer gives Tennessee the best chance to win, he should play. That's all I care about. But based on what transpired all fall camp and practice, Brian Maurer made the coaches a little uneasy with his decision-making. But because JG's decision-making was just as bad through 3 or 4 games, it made no sense not to play Brian Maurer. So you did, and you got more explosion on the offense. So I don't even know what Lookout Ball is trying to say here.
The only other reason that we have presented he needs to play is because of this loser mentality that some have, that he shouldn't be thrown to the wolves against Alabama, which in reality, you are throwing him more to the wolves against Georgia than you are against Alabama, because Georgia's defense is better than Alabama's.
Georgia's defense is better than Alabama. Yeah, so again, look out, Vol. You don't really make a lot of sense there, buddy. Because Brian Maurer plays offense. He doesn't play defense. The Wolves will be playing defense against Alabama's offense, not playing against Alabama's defense. Because you already threw Brian Maurer to the Wolves against a better defense. So
Brian Maurer should be able to make plays this weekend. I've seen 2 freshman quarterbacks do it this year in Ryan Helinski and John Reese Plumlee. If Brian Maurer is the quarterback that we think he is when he's not turning the football over, there's no reason he can't go make plays with the playmakers he has and an offensive line that is improving.
I don't care how much swag you got, how good you are on offense. If you turn the football over, you're not going to play. That goes for JG. That goes for Brian Maurer. It goes for anybody. Look at Eric Gray's participation. It has been reduced because of
the fumble he had
against Florida, not being able to break tackles, and not being able to block and pass protection. That's how it works. That's how football works. That's how it will always work. You got to take care of the football first. And that's why Tennessee was able to take care of business there in the second half against Mississippi State. JG did a good job of doing that. He learned a lesson from watching Brian Maurer sitting on the bench. That was good. See what happens moving forward. Swain event.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hey y'all, check it out. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a brand new happy hour special right now that you don't want to miss. Get $2 off of their fantastic barbecue appetizer from 2 to 4 p.m. That's queso loaded with your choice of pork, chicken, or brisket and served with Frito scoops. And for the rest of the month, check out their new Pig and Peaches salad for $11. This thing is loaded with salad mix, grape tomatoes, fire-roasted peaches, pickled red onions, pork belly burn-ins, goat cheese, and topped with a delicious balsamic vinaigrette. Dead End Barbecue. The barbecue surge is over.
Soreness, bumps, and bruises are a part of everyday life, whether you're a Vol or not. Surgery can be too, even for weekend warriors. Something that can get you back to feeling your best is therapeutic massage. If you've had surgery or are feeling the wear and tear of life, give our friends at In Touch Massage Knoxville a visit. They have a hand-picked staff and offer a clinical focus for folks going through joint replacement and cancer treatment. They serve neurological patients like those being treated for MS, ALS, and Parkinson's. Their staff even includes a lymphedema specialist. Plus, they offer a great relaxation massage. Don't ignore your pain any longer. Let the therapists from In Touch Massage Knoxville help. Located just west of downtown Knoxville at 601 South Concord Street, or find them online at intouchmassagenknoxville.com and on the phone at 865-236-1425.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use. We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See, But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Let's go to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline this morning. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. It's how you can find us. Or the Swain Event app. You can use a text box. It's free for Apple or Android devices. Let's get to Nila Mafia. Nila Mafia, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Was listening to the, the talk about the bulletin board material and players saying this and players saying that, poking the bear, and all that kind of stuff. And thought about an old story. Down on the farm, there were two young bulls, just barely teenagers. And they were sitting there looking down on the field, and there were all the cows down there below them, and they're like, man, we get grown, all this going to be ours. Man, I can't wait. All the cows down there looking so peaceful and placid and all that kind of thing. And all of a sudden the farmer's truck backed up and the gate opened up, and the biggest, baddest bellowing bull you ever seen in your life comes storming out of there. Massive shoulders, paw in the ground, slinging snot, spit. And the cows were all looking at each other like, oh, well, that's the breeder. That's the one. That's it. And all of a sudden, one of the two young bulls jumped straight up in the air and started bellowing, and he started pawing the ground and slinging snot and spit and everything and dust and mud, this way or the other. And that first young bull looked at him and he said, "What on earth are you doing?" And that young bull looked back and he said, "I aim to be sure he knows I'm a bull, and I'm going to get bigger." So I ain't got no beef with players saying anything. I don't care about a bulletin board. You either get mounted like you've been doing for the last several years, or you get new blood in. It's like, all right, they can't eat us. It's just a football game. Let's go in there and see what happens. Let's show something. Let's talk a little. Let's act like we got something. Let's show some fire. Let's show some pride. Let's show that, for once, this team isn't going to just roll over. We're not the cows in the field. And if they beat us, they beat us. They beat us knowing we were there. And they beat us with our head high. So, I ain't got no beef. Let them talk. About the time we've seen some fire, some spirit out of somebody. And if they're saying they ain't championship material anymore, if that's what it takes for that team in red to get fired up, then they ain't championship material. Every dynasty ends. All glory is fleeting. And at some point, you have to draw your own line. All right, Swain, Ben, you know where I stand.
Man, such a dang good phone call, dude. Such a good phone call. Just a great story. Ah, man. But, Nila Mafia, the passion, the pride, the excitement that you want to see, you can see all that without talking about it. You can do all that with your shoulder pads and your helmet. You can say that after the game. Why give any opponent added motivation, especially if you 2-4? Keep your damn mouth closed. And then you talk with your shoulder pads and your helmet. You talk with your plays. Ain't nothing wrong with a little trash talk. But Tennessee ain't done anything to warrant being able to talk any trash to anybody, let alone the best team in college football right now. Like, you just keep your mouth closed and you let your football play speak for you. That's what every coach in America tells their players. Now, you do have some coaches who like Jim McElwain. Man, he let his players talk a little bit before the game. Did that in 2015, did that in 2016 a little bit. It worked out in 15, didn't work out in 16 because that motivated Tennessee to spank that booty. And that's what we did. That talk motivated us. It did. Whether or not you want to believe it, all that duck pulling the truck, all that stuff, that motivated us.
You have to believe it. Jalen Reeves-Maben and Jalen Hurd and those guys were tweeting about it all summer long.
And they didn't. But remember, when it came, they did. But when it came down to game week, they didn't say anything.
Nope.
Remember?
Nope.
They were like, "All right, we'll see.
We'll let our play do the talking."
All right, we'll see." The dude that's when you grow up in middle school and high school, the one that's doing all the talking about what he gonna do. You don't want to mess with me. I'll do this to you. Them be the ones that don't do anything. They can't bust a grape in a fruit fight. It's the silent one that you got to worry about. It's him that will knock your head off your shoulders, the one who doesn't say anything. So, Neil Mafia with a great phone call, great story.
And to a certain extent, I agree with Neil Mafia, but since he's not in a position to be doing that type of talking.
No, man. No, y'all need to focus on lining up.
Yes.
Line up for more than a game. And then you can talk a little bit.
Go on a 2-game winning streak. Tennessee, until they beat Mississippi State, was the last Power 5 team to win a game over a Division I opponent.
Yeah. And sometimes we think, and I'm saying we as in a fan base, because I understand it because my experience playing. Sometimes we think uniforms, what we say, this small thing or that small thing has a huge impact on the game. And it doesn't as much as people would think. It's doing your job and winning your matchups and winning your battles and talking with your shoulder pads and your helmet. That's one thing I will commend Kirby Smart on. Man, he don't let his players get involved in that. He don't get involved in that. He let Dan Mullen do all that talking. He like, all right, we play with our shoulder pads and helmets. That's what we do here.
Did you see what Dan Mullen said?
What did he say
yesterday?
What did he say recently?
He took a shot at Mississippi State. He was asked about the South Carolina Stadium piping in the Gamecock noise, you know, that crow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, I thought cowbells were cool for 9 years.
Oh. I mean, I love Neil Mafia. I just respectfully disagree. I just think you need to, if you are Tennessee, you need to keep your mouth closed right now.
I'm with you.
You ain't done enough to be talking.
Unless it's at Mississippi State.
Honestly,
I know.
You just need to be quiet and just get to a bowl game. That's just my take. That's just my take. All right, who's next?
Tramel,
good morning.
Yo, what up, my fall brethren?
What's going on, man? Good morning.
Man, you know I had to give you the business, man. You talking about my Titans, man. Slick throwing them down your touchdown and turnover and stuff, man.
What was so bad about my touchdown turnover today, Tramel?
You just be slick throwing them in there, man. Won't you
Tramel, stop. Tramel, what was bad about the touchdown turnover?
It wasn't nothing bad about it, man. But you poking, man. You know you poking.
I'm not poking.
We both got good defenses, but our quarterbacks are trash.
I'm not poking. It was a legitimate question to fans who live in Tennessee, who are Titans fans, who are also Tennessee fans. I'm not poking you, man. Right. You triggered, man. You triggered this morning.
Let's train. No, I'm good. Really, I am. Let's change the subject, though. So, we got some pretty good coaches here. Well, most of them, right?
Correct.
Coaches at developing kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see, we got a couple kids that's been here. His guys, some of them been here going on 2 years, and some of the boys from last year going on about a year. You know what I'm saying, of development. Who do you think? I guess you have to go through the list of people, honestly. Who do you think? I guess younger cats been here 2 years under our new coaches. That's probably gonna have a breakout second half of the season. And just like Tyler Bird beasted in that, he balled out in that last game.
Younger
upperclassmen, you think?
So younger players that will have a breakout year, breakout second half,
of the season, because they could start playing some kids. You know what I'm saying? They could. Somebody could have developed. It's almost some of the early enrollees, like Chris. I can't pronounce his name. Akaporogane. You know what I'm saying? Some of those guys, and then some of the guys from last year. That they I said drafted, but signed. And then some of the upperclassmen. Tyler Bird had a pretty good game. He probably, I guess he's starting to buy in a little bit. There could be some juniors or seniors that do the same thing for the rest of the year. Just, know y'all's thought on a guy or two. Because, Matthew Butler on defense, they got some sacks this weekend. Those guys are starting to step up. I don't know. Just who y'all think defense and offensively going to be somebody to watch as the season go on.
So we're looking for 4 answers here, Tramel, and thanks for the phone call. Looking for offense and defense, young and old,
breakout players for the second half of the season.
Players for the second half of the season. Young and old, so young players and veterans, offense and defense, and we'll go to the phones and then come back to that. Let's get to Will. Will is next. Will, good morning.
Good morning, Jason Swain. Good morning, Ben McKee.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Just want to call in, and granted, I am an Alabama fan, but appreciate y'all's show and listen to it every once in a while on the podcast for my brother Ben McKee, and just appreciate the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry, and looking forward to see Ben McKee this weekend, and grateful for the streak Alabama has right now, but knowing one day this rivalry is built on streaks, and one day it's going to be reversed, but knowing every fall that I get to see Ben McKee at Tuscaloosa or in Knoxville. So that's what I'm calling in for today, and just telling Ben thank you for being a loyal fan of Tennessee and a brother to me.
Will, are you buttering me up? So because you know what's about to happen tomorrow night?
Well, we both know what's going to happen, but my love for you is far greater than that.
Man, Will, I appreciate that, and you know how much you mean to me. Will was in my wedding. Will is one of my best friends. He and his wife, Lindsay, beautiful couple that mean a lot to me and my wife. So Will and I played high school baseball against each other. Will and Will's wife.
Ben actually threw a no-hitter against us, but that'll go.
I did do that. I did do that. Struck out Will twice, I think, in that game. Something I always like to remind Will. But no, Will's one of my best friends, and as he was mentioning, the best part. The only good part that I have going for me about the third Saturday in October is I get to see great people like Will every single year. So that's kind of the bright spot of my weekend. And the thing that I'm looking forward to most, spending time with y'all this weekend.
I'm sure I'm sitting here playing glad y'all were nice now.
Oh, Will, you're breaking up on us, brother.
He must be in Alabama.
He is in Alabama. Will is in Huntsville. So surprising Huntsville has bad cell service.
You know what, man? You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of Bama phone calls. We got 2 today. One from my middle school coach, and one from your friend, Bama fans. It's Bama week. Did either one of them talk trash?
Nope. Nope.
They called in to be sweet.
Butter us up.
To be nice. I'm more disappointed, mad than trash talk. Trash talk me, please. Ugh.
That tells you all you need to know.
Calling here talking about some how much you love me. Oh man, we gotta snitch on Alabama again.
What do you say, Coach Fulmer back down there?
We got to snitch, man. We got to do something. This is ridiculous. All right, who's next?
Roger.
Let's get to Roger. Roger, good morning.
Well, hey, Jason. Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Good, Roger, man. Hope you are too. What's going on in your world, and what's on your mind today?
I'm doing fine, Jason. I want to talk to you about something, man. You said something the other day. I got a phone. I was wanting to ask you a question about it, and I got some questions. First, wanted to tell you, Jason, we got a chance to say now. Don't while you're saying, I want you to explain to me why we don't have a. You say you have a chance of winning. That's why I ask you. We got a chance. Just want to. We got a chance. That's why I ask you. Explain to me why we don't have a chance. You're a player over there, so that's why I ask you why you don't say we don't have a chance. That's why, and that's wanted to ask you what can we do to compete? What can we do in the game? What can we do? What do we think we need to do? You think, Jason? One night.
Well, I don't think we have a chance, and what we could do to compete is take chances every chance you get. Onside kicks, fake punts, fake field goals, let it all out there. That's the chance you have to compete, but I don't think Tennessee has a chance to win. And it hurts me to say that, but it's just how I feel. So, but if you prove it, you really haven't. You look at this season compared to last season. Last season you had onside kicks in the Florida game, and we really haven't done any of that stuff this year. We haven't fake punted anything. We haven't done a fake field goal. We haven't did an onside kick. There's really not been any of those type of aggressive plays and special teams that we saw last year. So that would be what you can do to try to compete a little bit better. But it's really outmatched. So I just sorry, I just don't see it.
Tennessee's best chance of keeping it close has more to do with Alabama underplaying than Tennessee doing something just great that keeps them in the game. Tua needs to throw about 4 or 5 interceptions.
Yeah. So Trammell called in and asked, offensively and defensively, young and old, who is poised to have a great breakout second half of the season? And I started thinking about guys. I'm thinking about young players who started making plays later on, recently. And I'm just going to list some young players on offense. Number one, I'm starting with, is Ramel Keaton. Great play in the Mississippi State game. And I mention him because I kind of think about myself. You know, when I had a breakout play like that against Marshall in my freshman year, I gained more trust from the coaches and I gained more trust from the quarterback. Ramel Keaton, usually when he's in, it's usually run plays. He made a play in the passing game, so you can anticipate him playing more and being more of a contributor. Of course, Tyler Bird's going to be more of a contributor. One thing that Trammell said that I got to correct, he said that Tyler Bird, more buy-in. Tyler's always been bought in. That's why he's still here. Because if he wasn't bought in, he would have transferred first opportunity he got. Mm-hmm. He's a senior who stayed here and worked his butt off and saw guys pass him up, but he stayed committed. He switched over to defense, switched back to offense. I mean, he's bought in. So there's no question there. But veteran player, you got to put Tyler Bird in there. Veteran player, offense, breakout player, because with T. Martin now on the sideline, there's going to be more of a true rotation at the wide receiver position where guys are not playing too many reps. 70 snaps is way too many for really anyone. So I think the two wide receivers, which obviously makes it look like I'm being biased here, but Ramel Keaton showed out last week against Mississippi State with that great 41-yard catch. And then Tyler Bird was a man amongst boys, and he's a wide receiver, but he's a veteran. Ben, you have any young or veteran players that you feel like will break out in the second half of the season on offense?
Just to go different from you so we can talk about somebody else, I would say as the young offensive guy, I would throw in Chris Akprogane. He is a guy that the coaching staff is really high on. Strong guy, physical guy. He's finally healthy. He's been receiving some first-team snaps and practice here and there. So if Riley Locklear continues to be banged up and Ryan Johnson or K'Ron Calvert can't put a stranglehold on that guard spot, or Jerome Carvin, I could see them throwing Chris Akprogane in there and seeing what he can do. So I would say him as the young guy. And then in terms of the older guy, I would take Dominic Wood Anderson. He hasn't really done much this year.
But you always pick Dominic Wood Anderson for everything.
Because he has so much potential, and it's not being used.
Can you stop picking Dominic Wood Anderson for everything?
You know, you're making fun of me. If I remember correctly, you loved Dominic Wood Anderson during the summer.
I do.
He was always your answer.
But I don't
during
pick
the
him for
summer.
every single question. I'm joking with you, but
well, my veteran pick would be Tyler Bird, but I'm saying Dominic Wood Anderson just to mention somebody else.
I want to see the McKees on Family Feud because I want to see Steve Harvey say, asked everybody. We surveyed 100 people. We surveyed 100 people. Name something that starts with a D that can't be said in public. Dominic Wood Anderson. Dominic Wood Anderson. Dominic Wood Anderson. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Next question. This is your host, Steve Harvey. Next question. Who in 1946 was a leading candidate in the MLB for MVP votes, Ben? Dominic Wood Anderson. Dominic Wood Anderson. It's like, can you pick somebody else besides Dominic Wood Anderson? I'm kidding.
Tell me I'm wrong, though.
You're not wrong.
Exactly. That's all that matters.
If Brian Maurer plays. If Brian Maurer plays more in the second half of the season, I mean like 75 to plus snaps during the game.
Starts and stays healthy.
Yeah, like 75% of the game snaps moving forward. Then, yeah, Dominic Wood Anderson is going to get not only the targets, but then he'll get more catches and more production.
Why more so with Maurer than JG? Because you think Jim Chaney purposefully uses him as like a safety
I really
cushion?
don't know, man. I don't know.
You just have a feeling?
I think second half of the season, I think defensive coaches kind of figured out that we're going to throw it to Juwan. So you got to find other guys to get the ball to.
Should have known that before the season.
Well, Bob Shoup took Juwan out of the game. And that's something that I mentioned. Like, guys, they're going to take away that slant. That was very productive for us against Georgia. And they couldn't stop it. So you got to understand how defensive coordinator is going to think. He's going to watch film and go, okay, let's take that away and force Brian Maurer to throw it to other guys who are further away. Let's make him make the long throw and see what happens. Well, they did that. They not double teamed them, but they jumped the smash route on the first interception for Brian Maurer to Juwan Jennings. So you got to find other guys to get involved. I think that's a reason why. And I just think that Brian Maurer ain't afraid to make some throws to Dominic Wood Anderson that JG was hesitant to pull the trigger on. So I think it's a good answer. I'm just messing with you, though.
I know. What about your defensive guys? A young guy that you think breaks out and a veteran guy that you think breaks out? I think these are two easy answers.
Young guy on defense? Break out? I mean, breakout would mean that they didn't do much in the first half, but they're going to do a whole lot more in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Ty. I got a tie.
Kavaris Crouch and Roman Harrison?
Dude, are you looking at my paper?
You didn't write it down.
Yeah.
And you are using my pen.
That's
so.
that's my guys. Roman Harrison and Kavaris Crouch. Kavaris Crouch got really close to getting himself a sack.
Saturday may not be his finest game. Playing inside linebacker against that RPO?
Yeah, got close to getting a sack against Mississippi State. And so I think they'll have breakout second half of the season. And then veteran.
It's hard not to continue to ride Nigel Warrior. For me.
How about some of those guys on the front? Don't roll your eyes, man. You don't want to give any love to the guys on the front? They got to the quarterback last game. I know it was coverage.
It only took them 3 or 4 seconds.
I mean, I know some coverage and some blitzes from the secondary. I get it, but still, man, you still got to be able to stop the run. Got to stop the run. You can't give Nigel Warrior credit for stopping the run.
No, but I can give that credit to Daniel Batuli and Henry To'oTo'o and
Kavaris
Crouch and Darryl Taylor.
You got to give credit to the line for keeping the linebackers clean to be able to make those plays. So I'll be different than you. I know you're going to say Nigel Warrior, and I'll give it to some of the veteran defensive linemen.
Which ones?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. 865-255-03 B-Drive Water Proof Hotline. Dominic Wood Anderson. Dominic Wood Anderson.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Gentlemen, are you feeling tired and grumpy? It could be low T, or it could be sleep apnea. Millions of men not only suffer from low T, but also undiagnosed sleep apnea. Low T Center provides a complete health assessment to check all of your levels. And right now, they're offering a $49 home sleep test to find out if you have sleep apnea in the comfort of your own bed. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to take care of your health, and most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
Tap water often contains harmful chemicals and additives. When you call for your free water test from Hiller, we'll show you exactly what's in your water and how to remove it. Enjoy cleaner, healthier water in your home. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your free in-home appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Hey, Mr. Max, you heard the lowdown? Nah, homie, give me the word on what's going on. Tell them what it is, Big Will.
Mac, now the lowdown is no money down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. No money down at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. Not $1,000 down, not $100 down, not even a nickel down. Low down, no down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. 2 minutes from the airport, so fly on down to the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, home of the original low down, no down payment. That is, why would you buy from anywhere else when you know we gonna get you done? Good credit, bad credit, slow credit, we will get you approved. So come on down to 911 Louisville Road, the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, or call 865-980-8216. Turn down for what?
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Time for the Swain Event trivia to end the show. Who holds the record for most career sacks at the University of Tennessee?
Dominic Wood Anderson.
Dominic Wood Anderson, baby.
Jonathan Kongbo.
Dominic Wood Anderson.
He might be more productive if he played defensive line.
Dominic Wood Anderson is the correct answer. We will allow.
CZW_Vol makes a good point, and I know you will agree with this. It's about time for Josh Palmer to break out and do something this year.
It is time. I just not going to pick him to do anything because I haven't seen any evidence to point to him actually doing that. I would love to. But I have looked so stupid because this summer I felt like he was the best receiver, like top to bottom. And as far as his ability to change directions, run past folks, he has the ability to be the best receiver. And it's funny because I actually mentioned it to his coach. I said, listen, man, I may be wrong here, but I think this is your best receiver. And he didn't disagree with me. But mentally,
he's not there.
Mentally, it's not. He's not. I remember last year against West Virginia, he took a catch, and it was in the red zone. He took a catch, and right before contact, kind of like braced, like stopped his feet and braced for the contact. I was like, dude, you 6'2", 200, and you're built like a Greek god. You got to run through those DBs, man. You got to make them feel you every single time they go up against you. If you can take Jennings' mentality and put it in Palmer, dude, you got something special. And I remember seeing the change. Maybe it will happen in the offseason. Maybe it will happen next game. Maybe it will happen tomorrow. I don't know. But I remember seeing the change in Jason Kroom. When Jason Kroom realized
that he's bigger than everybody,
that he's 6'4", 6'5", 230, and he can bench press people. When he realized that, we started seeing him bench press people on the sidelines, or to the sidelines. And Josh Palmer just needs to get that mental edge. I would love to pick him, but I'm not.
Who needs change of direction and all that stuff when you can just take on 20 defenders and carry them down the field 10, 15, 20 yards?
That's what Juwan did, man, against Georgia. That was amazing.
That got me excited.
That was amazing. Roger was baited to call me and give me crap for not giving Tennessee a chance to win. 0% chance.
Technically, they don't have a 0% chance of winning. It's like a 0.01% chance.
0.0.
Well, according to ESPN, they have a 2.6% chance.
Okay. Shamel caught my comment about snitch on Alabama again. Yeah. We did before. We need to do it again.
Yeah, I'm tired of opposing fans calling in and not trash talking us, trying to be nice to us, trying to butter us up.
I hated those phone calls. I hate the phone call from my middle school coach, and I hated the phone call from Will. Sorry, man.
I did too.
That was a terrible phone call.
But
two terrible phone calls.
Will isn't fooling anybody because the moment I see him, he's gonna start joking on Tennessee, and as will our other buddies.
Will ain't fooling me. You know how you act in front of your grandma. Hey, grandma. Hey, grandma. You all nice and sweet. As soon as you're around your friends, yeah. You're a different way in front of your friends. I can't even say what I would say around my friends because, FCC rules and stuff, but you are different.
You gonna yell at me in front of my friends?
Around your grandma than you are around your friends. And Will ain't fooling anybody. I know Will's different when he's around you. He's just trying to show out on the radio. You want everybody to think, oh, Ben has a nice friend, Will, who won't trash talk him and rub it in.
I do love that Will mentioned my no-hitter, though.
Yeah, I caught that. I didn't know you can pitch.
Oh, yeah. Pitch, play defense, hit every now and then.
What was your favorite pitch, man? The knuckleball, the screwball, the curve, the fastball? Change up.
Yep.
All right.
Keep those hitters off balance. I could dot it on any side of the plate.
Did you ever hit a pitcher? Hit a hitter on purpose?
Not on purpose, but I've hit my fair share of batters. Every pitcher has.
So you never targeted anyone?
No. Nope.
So were you more like John Rocker personality or more like Tom Glavine?
More like a Tom Glavine.
Or John Smokes.
John Smokes. I laid back cool on the mound.
Yeah. You didn't think I knew that, huh?
Nope.
Told you, man, I'm a baseball expert.
I knew that.
I'm like Harold Reynolds. Uh-huh. You think I knew about Harold Reynolds, huh? I know Harold Reynolds.
You're more like A-Rod.
Hey. Maybe. I do got to take some supplements after the show. Have a great weekend. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Peace and love.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.